Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Myself, Michael Dean, and Mr. Ant Pooh. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing good. Not like us. I'm just putting everybody in the nation on alert. The West is back. We got a new Snoop.
Oh, gotcha.
Kendrick is running things. Come on.
All right, all right. I feel you on that. Man, let's. We always do this. I think every year. We try to go over some of the bigger things or kind of looking back at the year. So this is our year end episode 2024. Now I did invite Q Storm and Big Sexy, but I don't know because some brothers busy doing their thing. It is the holiday. We're right days away from Christmas, so there's a lot going on.
And actually, our brother Q, he's down by my way in San Diego. So
Okay,
I
so
think he
put
might
them,
be
put
doing a
them out there
family
on
picture.
blast. Okay, that's what we do. Yeah, his location is. There you go. Salute, salute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, man, let's get into some of the things. What do we want to start? Let's start with this. The Superman trailer just came out. Movie releases next year. We haven't done a lot of movie stuff this year, but of course we've done extensive conversations about you know the older, the Snyder movies and all of the other superhero movies. And, Superman was always one of those, in my opinion, that is a hard nut to crack. Pause. It's hard to get Superman right, in my opinion. I will say that the only Superman movies that I acknowledge that I, you know, like in a sense, first off, I would say Superman with Christopher Reeve, the first movie. I remember seeing that when it first came out. I will say it's unwatchable for me now, but that was a big moment when that came out, and just to be able to see that on the screen. And I thought he really, like, he was Superman in my mind for many years, Christopher Reeve. And to some people, he still is. Superman 2, which I liked even more than the first one. That was actually the one that I kind of really latched onto. But at the same point, now it's unwatchable to me. It's just too goofy. There's stuff going on in that movie that I could never co-sign today. The turning back the time, just the way that the Superman Lois Lane kiss, and I think it was in the second movie where he kisses her. It was just outrageous, ridiculous. But back then, who knew? I was a kid, so I ate that stuff up. Um, but those were classic movies. And
Wait a
then
minute, you didn't like the S symbol cape that became a trap?
yeah, I mean, back then, yeah, it was just ridiculous. I didn't know. I was like, yeah, okay. um, but it was action packed movie. And back then that was like one of my first action packed. Like, whoa, this is going down. And then aside from
Superman.
that,
Oh,
oh, go ahead.
Superman Returns.
So for me, none. I don't acknowledge those. They didn't work for me. Uh, Superman. Well, I'm not gonna go down the ones I don't like because I'm gonna
Okay.
stop at Christopher Reeve. Those first two. The ones after that, ah, I mean, I went to the movies and saw the fourth one. Horrible. And people seem to forget those movies when I wanted to be like Christopher Reeve. No, you don't. But I'm not gonna get there. And then the other ones that I like and I love, Man of Steel. I watched that earlier this week. Man, great fucking movie. It was just like fantastic. Of course, I've talked Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I love those Superman in that. Um, but I will admit, even with all of those, I don't think we have gotten that quintessential, in my opinion, we haven't gotten the quintessential Superman movie that stands the test of time. Because, like I said, the Christopher Reeve ones for me do not stand the test of time, though I respect and love them. So my Superman is Henry Cavill. I just don't. I don't think that he didn't get to have his full on Superman only movie where he really was like, you know what I mean? Like we didn't get that, but it's all right. Like anyway, so I love that. So very excited to see what James Gunn was going to do. And now we finally saw the trailer. And I know I've been running my mouth, but I'm very curious to hear what AntPooh thought of this trailer. And if you want to speak on any of the other Superman movies, you certainly can.
Well, take it back to what you were saying as far as previous Superman. I'm going to go film and TV. The first two Superman absolutely were really good. I mean, it's some would say they're the NWA of superhero movies. They started this ish. Superman Returns. No, I'm sorry. I keep wanting to go there because I want to bash it, but we're trying to be positive here and keep up with that. I'm going to television. Smallville. It got 10 seasons and I really liked it for what it did, as well as the constraints that they put on it. The fact that they said no suit, no flying. I don't know why you would do that with Superman, but that's what they did. But overall, they gave us, in my opinion, the best live action Lex Luthor with Michael Rosenbaum, who, little trivia, he played the Flash in the Justice League cartoon.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, he's gonna be good at it. And his Lex Luthor, I thought, was done really, really well. And considering that it was a CW property, so you got that angsty at the time. Just remember, this was the early 2000s, so they had a lot of angst there. They really were able to tap into the Superman mythology, the Superman comics, and give us a really good show. And Tom Welling, I felt, did a really great Clark Kent. He didn't get to be Superman. To what we know, they called him the Blur, which is interesting. He actually did
become Superman at the very end. I swear.
They broke their rule in the final episode. I want to say the final minute. Him leaving the Daily Planet, flying, and then we catch him in the suit before it goes to black. I still don't understand why they never thought about doing a film with him as Superman. Maybe they just felt that he didn't have it for the film.
Well, I would say, as much as I can respect that show, I was not a fan of it at all. But I know people who like you. I know people who people used to buy the ones you can have them at home, the box sets. Like I know somebody who has all of them, and they love that stuff. So I can understand. I just don't think pulling him to the big screen at that time for a person like me, it would have been a no-go because I just wasn't into him at all. But
the thing is that you say that, but they gave us Brandon Roth around the same time.
And that was terrible too.
Respect to Brandon Roth. He's since then he's done some really good performances in the CW, the Arrowverse. But yeah, it was kind of like you gave us that, and we already had Tom Welling who we like. And yes, I liked Henry Cavill. I thought for what he was given to do, he did a very admirable job, and he pulled off the aura of a Superman. Maybe not the truth, justice, the American way, cowlick, as Q would say, Superman, but he gave that aura like he was the wrong one. And I'm gonna do enough to subdue you. So I definitely will give that props and say, yeah, Henry Cavill did a good job. As far as this trailer here, going into it, I feel like James Gunn doesn't miss. He does. The 3 Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I wasn't that big of a fan of, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't, it didn't live up to the first one. The third one, other than Adam Warlock character, I thought it hit. He nailed it again. The I want to say Squadron Supreme. The Suicide Squad.
If only they did that.
Ooh, yeah. Dope. Suicide Squad. Really enjoyed it. Still got one of my favorite lines. He does what I do. Yeah, except better. I still love. I love quoting that.
I've only seen that movie kind of once, and it's not a bad movie. It just doesn't appeal to me. I like the original Suicide Squad, but good.
So that going in, I feel James Gunn is he reveres these properties, and he goes about adapting them with that fandom but at the same time, we gonna make some money. And we already saw how we gonna make some money within the first 30, 40 seconds of that trailer because crypto came. And he was trending for at least 10 to 12 hours on Twitter. Now, that's not a whole microcosm of people liking the character, but it is some indication that they know what they were doing. But overall, I felt that there was too. I mean, first of all, it's a teaser, so we don't know what's going on. They gave us Lex Luthor, who, I'm gonna give that actor. I really wish I could remember his name. He was in the X-Men films as Beast. I'm gonna give him a chance because
that's him.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
I give him a chance because we had Jesse Eisenberg, who again he did what was presented for him to do.
And I know this is not the popular. Loved it.
I mean, if again, that's their Lex Luthor. It's not what I wanted, but sure. he did a good enough job. I mean, I wanted, of course, for me, I wanted Justice League animated series Lex Luthor, Superman the animated series Lex Luthor. That one is, in my opinion, the best adaptation of it.
And I would just say, I think Jesse to me plays that Lex Luthor most people are looking at. It's at the end of Justice League when was it Deadpool or Deadshot, when he has Deadshot come on the boat and he gives him
Deathstroke. There's Deathstroke. Yeah.
Deathstroke when he gives him Batman's identity. To me, that was the Lex Luthor people. When he became that, he's playered out now on the boat, balling, bald head, got the hose, and he's like, here comes this assassin. He's like, what's up?
I'm sorry.
He ain't tripping.
Side note, I want to get something a tangent. How did they fuck up Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor? Because I think everybody thought that was great casting, and it was just blah. But Superman Returns. That's probably why you don't
remember that movie.
Yeah, they got Kevin Spacey, and people were like, "Oh!" And then what we got, it was like,
I need to watch that again. Actually.
Yeah. But I mean, we
That's
saw
Bryan
some.
Singer, wasn't it?
Yes, Mr. Red Pool guy himself.
So the reason why I know now, I remember why I thought the movie was corny, because it was trying to play too much to the Reeves stuff. It just doesn't. It's a different time, man. It's a different actor. No, like it's not gonna work. I just don't think it'll work. But I didn't like.
So, I mean, of course, most people are laughing at the fact that Nathan Fillion, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, as Guy Gardner looked ridiculous with the bowl haircut. But I mean, overall, what I will say is it does look good. For me, I like the fact that it's bright. It seems I can't think of the word where I guess animated, where you just feel lively, and
vibrant. It looks
vibe. There you go. That's the word I'm thinking of. And and I'm not trying to knock the Snyderverse, but that was kind of the thing that they had where it just felt so dull and dreary and brooding. So I kind of like the fact that we are getting this different take on Superman. But again, it's not enough in the trailer. But from what I've seen, the action looks good. I feel like they're going to make millions, if not a couple $100 million on crypto toys. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for comic purists. And I just want to wait for the full trailer to see what the story is and if it's really going to knock it out. It's going to kick ass or else.
Right on. I wanted to love this. I don't love it, and I do not hate it. It was okay to me. I was like, okay. I was expecting I was expecting something totally different than what we've seen before, because my point is, why would you make a knockoff of Snyder? It can't be dark and brooding, right? It has to be something totally different. So I was expecting the difference. And I will say, like you, the look of it and the tone does seem different enough, but not as different as I thought it would be. Some of the shots and things like just remind me of the Snyder type of stuff in terms of the way it seems Superman is being depicted, in terms of how the people on Earth are depicted, like, the guys throwing the can in the back of his head. Look like they're kind of protesting him. I mean, that was sort of the story in Batman v Superman, right? Like, these people were seeing Superman as some sort of bad guy, and then there were people who loved him and were like praying down to him almost. And there's the scene in this trailer with the little boy holding the flag. I was like, okay, that's cool. But again, to me, it just reminded me of Batman v Superman because there was a whole scene of people doing that to him. So I didn't really feel it was that different. I don't think you really saw Superman smiling in this. So again, he always seemed to be downcasted a little bit in terms of his, he was, the first time you see him in this trailer, he's literally bleeding out of the mouth, right? Which is not something I would have expected. But he never seemed to be like, I thought, I was expecting this sort of joyous Christopher Reeve, and he actually don't show you him doing that in this trailer. He is always seems to be dealing with whatever is going on in the story, which is fine. But again, just to me, it was like I expected him to be like, dun, 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 you know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of what I was going to see. But go ahead.
And that's the thing where I feel it was a miss by not just James Gunn, but WBD as a whole, is that you have a bad taste in people's mouths with the Snyderverse, whether people liked it or didn't like it, whether people were happy that it was gone or mad that it's gone. And I felt like you didn't do enough to wash that away by giving us something to get behind. Like, oh, this is the dude. Oh, yeah, that's my super. Oh, but it was kind of like, here's a little glimpse here and there. And I like, in my opinion, this still is going to be number one at the box office. It should. That somebody needs to get fired. But I felt like to really get that groundswell, to build that momentum, that anticipation for this, I felt they really needed to get something out there to really show us this is why he's my Superman. This is why we got rid of Henry Cavill. And I didn't get that.
Right. Yeah, I didn't either.
Especially when he was running down the street, which because that's a callback, which could be a problem. But that wig, but that hair when he was running down the street as Clark.
Oh.
I was like, oh, they got Tyler Perry's wig guy.
I mean, I get it. I guess they're trying to show you, like, yeah, he would have to really look totally different. The thing is, I think, and I want to go back to my review of this, but I think some people expect, well, Clark Kent has to be sort of this bumbling sort of thing. I actually don't think that's not. I mean, if you go by the movies, yes, I guess so, because that's kind of how Christopher Reeve did it a little bit. But when I read the comic books, he doesn't come across like a bumbling nerd to me. You know what I mean? Like, he's a mild-mannered reporter, not a nerd. Like, he's not. So that's what. But I understand this is basing itself off of the nostalgia that people had for an older movie, and I understand that tactic in movies. Star Wars is built on that right now to its detriment, in my opinion. Things like The Force Awakens and these types of things. So I think they have to be careful with that. But I understand why they're showing them like that. I'm not mad at that. But I was to say, I think the big thing for me personally is the guy playing Superman. So far, I have not seen the screen presence, the machismo, the superhero vibe of him yet. What they have shown to me does not come across. I mean, he's, again, not even comparing it to the past movies, just other superheroes that are the main dudes in their movies. It doesn't even come across as a superhero like Robert Downey Jr. comes across in Iron Man, or Captain America.
I was just about to go there.
And this is Superman, the ultimate superhero of them all. So to me, Superman always is supposed to be that dude. It comes off as like, the champ is here. You know what I'm saying? When Superman, and he doesn't have that. It just doesn't have that vibe to me so far from what we've seen. The pictures that we've seen of him, the leaked photos, we're supposed to hold judgment because they're going to look different in the screen. Well, what we just saw here, like when he was laying down in the snow and the way it fits, to me, that's glaringly corny, that I don't understand how they would make that decision. And my thought is this thing, maybe that's not really the real Superman suit or something. Like, maybe somewhere in the movie, he really something else or something, because it can't fit like that. There's no way they greenlit that part of it. That's the thing that I'm sort of curious. Now I understand this is a teaser, so maybe they're not obviously not going to show us a lot, really, and they may be showing us stuff that ain't even in the movie. That Marvel is great for that. So I don't know, man. I want to see what they're going to do. I think the biggest thing in this trailer was crypto, and I thought I was like, that was cool,
Now,
and,
now if
and I
they
was
were smart,
hold on real quick, but I was saying I thought that was cool. He did look a little CGI to me. I was like, are they gonna have a CGI dog in this whole movie like that? But I like the tone of that, where it's like this is what makes it different, because none of the other movies had this, and this is like, to me, hardcore comic book. To put him in there like that sets a tone. Oh, a dog can drag Superman and fly, and it made me question, like, well, damn, what the hell beat his ass where he bleeding, but the dog can come in and help him? Is the dog gonna be in danger? So it makes me like, I'm curious
oh
to see
Lord.
what they're gonna show, because that could be a great motivator for Superman to want to kick somebody's ass. Leave my hands off my dog, that type. So I was like, well, okay, this could be fun. Real quick, the other characters that they show, like the Green Lantern and all that didn't work for me. People, yeah, but it's comic accurate. Absolutely, that don't work for me. But and then I look at some of the other stuff they show. What this looks like is this will be a James Gunn style movie, and James Gunn style movies are ensemble pieces, right? They're got a lot of jokes, a lot of satire kind of thrown in. And when I see the Green Lantern and some of the things in the trailer, I'm kind of picking up. I can see the tone. What this movie is probably going to be, probably very funny, and it's going to be a grand cast of people, and they all sort of have the character tropes of whatever that type of person is. Like Rocket was like a wisecracking thing. Groot was crypto essentially. What's
Oh boy.
what's the guy that speaks in very literal character?
Drax.
So they all have these very character types, and then Star Lord was the character type. So I can see that he's probably going to do that same sort of thing in this, right? Because that's what he did in Suicide Squad. He has this cast of people, and they all have these different types of people. And I imagine Guy Gardner or the Green Lantern, he's the asshole, always quick to jump into something, and then there's so where's
The hot
Superman
dog.
fit in all of this type of stuff? There's a lot of other characters that are going to be fighting for attention. Crypto could steal the movie from Superman easily, just from just what he did in this trailer, right? Because that's what people seem to be really talking about. And so with all that said, I thought the trailer was cool. I think it does its job to at least show you a tone a little bit, like, here's what this is going to be. This is kind of what it's going to look like. It is Superman. It's nothing groundbreaking. I haven't seen nothing groundbreaking at all in what they showed in that trailer. They got Lex in there, cool. They got Lois Lane, okay, cool. There's Daily Planet, cool. They didn't really show us a Jimmy Olsen yet, okay. And then who here's a Green Lantern there, and then I don't know who these other characters are, uh, and you don't know what's going on. And it's a love movie. They definitely show you a lot of shots of him embracing with Lois Lane. So I'm curious to see, like you, what the next trailer is. I fear that the what it seems like the groundswell of support that this trailer is getting right now, I can slowly see the wheels are going to turn in the next couple weeks. And as people start to really analyze what they saw on the screen and look at it closely, I think is going to shift, and they're going to start complaining a little more heavy, and they're going to use the receipts of it, what's in the trailer, and then what has come before to back it up. And I'd be very curious to see, by the time when this movie releases, what the perception of it will be. Hopefully, they will release other things. I hope they show a great picture of Superman, and it looks dope. Like, we haven't seen where it looks dope yet, in my opinion. So that's
And I agree. One thing I will say is just when you was talking about as far as presentation of the hero, I will gladly say that the archetype for this Superman should be Captain America, in my opinion. If you're, I feel like,
The archetype for Superman
yeah,
should
as
be
far as,
interesting.
yeah, I mean, in the films, because I feel like Marvel did such a great job of creating Captain America. He's the hero. He's supposed to be stand up. He's supposed to go by the book. He's supposed to go in and save everything. He's supposed to be a man from that era of the 40s and earlier. And I feel like they really do a good job of this is the superhero. Like before, it used to be Superman. My opinion now, it's Captain America, at least on film as of now.
I got you.
And my other thing is missed opportunity, WBD. How the hell did you not say get your crypto at the Inslate, get your crypto dog now at WBD.com?
No, that would have been terrible. They did.
Marvel would have did it. Disney would have done it. Disney would have had that.
That would have been terrible.
But I mean, hey,
That's the thing.
What did Billy say?
Say it again.
What did Billy say?
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem, though. Because see, the thing is, as cute as that dog can seem right now, by the time July comes around, you don't know how social media and perception get to happen. Let that pop off right now. It could blow up now, and by the time it comes out, it could be on the like people are played out of that and are sick of it, and they're seeing it for what it really was. Right? It was just a ploy to. It can be some sales. It's another Rocket. It's another Groot. You know, you don't want it to come off that obvious because the people will turn their back. Again, that's why I think when people start peeling the layers back on what you just saw, you're gonna be like, what is that? Like, what are they talking about? Or what is his character doing? So I don't know. But I want it to be great because I'm a Superman fan. I don't care who makes it. If it's a great movie, I'm all in. Like I love that character, and there's many different interpretations of Superman, and I like most of them. So I want this to be good. And at this point, we can what the Batman has shown us. We can survive having multiple we can survive having multiple versions of these characters going at the same time. No one's going to be confused. So if this Superman doesn't change the game, and it doesn't really, and that's okay. If it's just a good movie, that's fine. Then that don't mean they can't have Henry Cavill come back and still have this going. I don't really see, there's really no reason. I mean, if you can have the Batman movie going and then they still had the other and they're going to bring another Batman into this DC universe, not going to be Robert Pattinson unless they totally change their mind. That's fine. You can have the Joker movie going over here. That's good. Again, to me, if you can have the Penguin going right now and that's popping and that's great, you can have this Superman movie going and it got nothing to do with each other.
Well, actually, the Penguin is supposed to be with the Batman, but I get what you mean.
No, I'm saying the Penguin is not with Superman.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So if you can have totally conflicting universes of the same characters going, then why can't you have more than one Superman?
My only thing is I can't imagine them bringing Henry Cavill back in the sense that it would totally. I feel if they brought Henry Cavill back, this new guy would be gone because people already were mad with him.
They
not
own
getting another movie.
Warner Brothers own both of them. They win either way. What does it matter? Like I don't understand. Now I don't know why they don't want to bring him back for some other reasons, but who cares? You win either way. They all DC, ain't they?
Yeah,
that's the thing. This is not Marvel versus DC or Drake versus. This is UMG. They own all. They don't give a fuck who plays that character. You want to see Henry Cavill and you want to give me the money? Here, give me the money. You want to see the other guy playing? You want to give me the money? Here, you want both of them? I don't give a fuck. I want the money. That's what I'm saying. Like if it's really a business.
So you're on your biggie. Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
If it's really this is just a business. Fuck, I care about these nerd wars. Nigga, give them all.
So yeah, I'm hopeful because James Gunn hasn't missed. But I want to see. I can't wait for the full trailer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still on board. You know, I want to see it. I just want it to be good, man. Whatever it is, you know, whatever it is. All right. Oh, well, with that said, real quick, since we're talking about the DC, have you watched that Creature Commandos?
I have not. I've seen a few. I'm in a couple of fanboy groups. They keep talking about it. I've seen some TikToks. It's on my to do. It's on my to do.
Okay, I've seen the first episode. You know, it's cool. It reminded again to me, it was like the Suicide Squad. I mean, it was exactly like the Suicide Squad. I think they even in that at the beginning or something. Amanda Waller's in it. So I didn't really. I was like, this is cool. But I don't have no desire to watch the rest of them. But I'm not saying it's bad. It's just to me, it was just like any of those other DC animated movies. Some of them are cool. Some of them I'm kind of good on, you know. But they're all decent enough. But I bring that up because that is actually the start of this new DC universe. Is that show, not the Superman thing? But they're in the same universe.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I got to go watch that.
Yeah, that's why James Gunn doing a little different. You're doing a little different. All right. Well, let's get into some year-end stuff, and why don't we just start with movies since that's what we're kind of talking about. I'm gonna let you go. What were your I guess your top 10 movies? Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry, gonna have to cut that out. But I was still mute trying to be professional over here. First, I want to go with films that's not in my top 10, but definitely worth mentioning. M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. That was the one about the serial killer where they did a movie, music concert to try to trap him and get him.
I haven't seen that one.
I think, did we have the conversation about the black man just walking up to a random person telling all their business? Like, yeah, they I think we did I could have sworn we did a show where we talked about ain't nowhere in the world some random black man just gonna walk up and say, yeah, this is what's going on. Yeah, I ain't supposed to tell you.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, well, they pay that off. That's all I'm gonna say. They pay that off. Abigail, I think you kind of low-key laughed at me for liking this movie. This is one where this guy gets a team of people to break into this to kidnap this girl.
I saw this at the movies, actually.
And the twist was, can we give spoilers?
Sure. And I don't even remember the movie, so go ahead.
The twist was they kidnapped this girl from this mob boss. And I guess they're supposed the group is thinking that they're supposed to be holding them ransom to get like 10, 20, 30 million dollars. Right. Come to find out that this girl is a vampire.
Yeah, okay.
And then come to find out further that they weren't there to kidnap the girl. They were actually her lunch, her dinner. So right. I love that movie. That was really great. Another one with John Cena. I gotta salute John Cena. He's found his lane and he's doing a good one. Jackpot. This is where in California, which this might be able to keep some of those transplant out. California has a lottery that if you win the lottery, it's like 100, 200, 300 million dollars. But you have 24 hours to live to collect it. And whoever kills you gets your lottery winnings.
Oh, this is in the movie. I'm thinking you're saying
yeah, in the movie. So that was amazing. A really good story. I really liked it. Didn't quite get it. Then there was Wolves on Apple TV. What happened was this very important political figure. She ends up with a dead body and she calls someone. And then come to find out the hotel, they call someone who cleans this all up. I'm really not doing this film justice, but it stars Brad Pitt and oh my God, and George Clooney.
I heard
really good film.
I
really liked that.
Oh, interesting. So it was good. Okay.
I liked it, but so take it with a grain of salt if not. This other one called Woman of the Hour, which was actually based on a true story. This woman went on the dating game show in the 1970s, and one of the contestants, apparently, he was one of the biggest serial killers. And they show him, his past, where he killed a couple of women and things that went on. And then they showed his interaction on the show and how she was able to escape going on a date with him because she was about to become his next victim. Really good acting. Another one, It's What's Inside. It's kind of a sci-fi Inception type thing where this guy comes with a this device that allows people to transfer their minds, and then there's a twist at the end. I don't want to spoil it. Go watch it. It was
Okay.
really, really good. Secrets
Okay.
got exposed. People were jumping into bodies. They were friends, so people jumped into bodies of the people they wanted to be with.
Oh, I gotta watch this tonight. I want to see
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
Three more. I'm sorry, Mr. Crockett. It was based on, apparently it's like this evil demonic Mr. Rogers that would come to children who were abused and save them, but he actually ends up kidnapping them and taking them into this other world. So that's the premise. I'll let you guys go watch that and see how it ends. Smile 2, if you guys remember that from a couple years ago, where there's this curse that there's this curse that infects people that slowly drives them crazy, and they end up killing themselves in front of someone, and it passes the curse along. This one better than the first. Sean Christopher in the Discord chat, he agreed with me. I thought Smile, for as hyped as it was, it really didn't deliver. This one, really, really good, and I honestly go see it. And then lastly, an Italian movie called Bionic. This is, you have to go watch it. It's just kind of weird. We're in a world where people are starting to replace their limbs. Either they were lost in certain things, or actually getting them removed so you can get these bionic limbs. And then people are in these leagues fighting with these bionic limbs. And it's a whole, it's just wow. So definitely go see that. But for my top 10.
Oh, this wasn't in your top 10.
No, these were just other films. That's all. Yeah, sorry. My top 10, Bob Marley, One Love. I absolutely loved it. Could be because I'm Jamaican adjacent. So yeah, absolutely love that one. Late Night with the Devil. I finally watched it. That was that. I don't know his name.
It was like a TV type show.
The TV show, yeah, where he was, yeah. Go watch it, where there's some of these possessions, and of course there's a twist at the end that makes everything make sense. Number 8, Rebel Ridge. I think we all love that one, and I think that brother, he just got casted as Jon Stewart. Essentially, he was the wrong one in the wrong town. Number 7, Inside Out 2. Yes, a Disney movie, but it was really, really deep and layered, going into the emotions that we have to deal with as this 13-year-old, as she's coming of age, starting to get jealousy, doubt, all these other emotions now, and how those emotions are trying to dominate one another to supposedly do what's right by Riley.
I saw half of that movie, but I have not seen the first movie.
I don't think you need to see the first. I didn't like the first one, so that's take it how you want. So I just end up taking my daughter, end up loving it. Number 6, Ricky Stenicki. Good premise. These dudes, they're best friends, and every time they try to get out of stuff with their wives or try to do everything, they invented this long distance friend called Ricky Stenicki, who's dealing with cancer. And one of them is getting married, and the one of the girlfriends invites Ricky Stenicki, so they actually had to hire John Cena to play Ricky Stenicki.
I heard it.
Love the movie. People sorry, I saw it. I loved it. Number 5, Beverly Hills Cop XOF. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Yes, I liked it. My only problem is that they sidelined Rosewood. That was my only problem. But overall, I enjoyed the film. Number 4, Furiosa. George Miller, he did it again. He did the damn thing again. Number 3, Bad Boys Ride or Die. That was my number 1 until these two came. What? You didn't like it?
All right, your list.
Number 2, Alien Romulus.
Okay.
Great film. Okay. And number 1, I guess I'm about to get the shock again, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Give us the top 10 real quick. Again.
Number 1, Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 2, Alien Romulus. Number 3, Bad Boys Ride or Die. Number 4, Furiosa. Number 5, Axel F. Number 6, Ricky Stenicki. Number 7, Inside Out 2. Number 8, Rebel Ridge. Number 9, Late Night with the Devil. I'm sorry. And number
Oh,
10, Bob Marley, One Love.
got it. Well, some of those I want to see, particularly the one where they jump through the mines.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I want to see that.
if anybody has seen the Netflix TV show Behind Her Eyes, it gives off that vibe.
Okay. Okay. You know, here's the thing. I don't have a top 10 this year. Uh, Movies to me this year were kind of disappointing. The only movies that I saw this year that I remember are like the deep genre movies, you know, or maybe like B movies or something. I seem to have the most enjoyment watching those types of movies for some reason. Uh, the only movies that I can really think of, and you mentioned, was Alien Romulus. I did enjoy that. I saw that at the theater. I actually bought that movie. Um, Dune 2, was that this year? Was that earlier this year?
Yeah, yeah.
Dune 2, that was one I did enjoy that. I've seen it multiple times. Um, those are the 2 movies that I can think of, like newer movies that I would consider to be in my top 10. The other movies that I've seen, you mentioned another one, Rebel Ridge. Rebel Ridge. I enjoyed watching that, you know, talking back to the screen. You know, that was you know, that's to me as a, you know, my teenage years, that's how we would watch movies, talking shit. So it brought me back to that. I love that. I think it was Deliverance, Tyler Perry movie,
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but yeah.
with the one with Glenn Close. Again, they're not, it's a B movie, it's a Tyler Perry movie, but I did enjoy watching it. It was ridiculous, but it's entertaining, you know. So it was like it took me away from whatever I was doing. It's like, okay, let me just get into this shit. It's not, you know, I forget what it was even about, but I remember that I watched that and I did kind of chuckle at that. Uh this new movie I just saw, that Carry on
Yes, yes.
Netflix. Again, it's not necessarily a good movie. It's not a, oh, this is great, but it's an enjoyable bullshit movie to watch at home. I had a great time watching. I was laughing. I was like, oh shit. You know, I remember the part where the hero dude pulled the gun on what's the name of the bad guy?
Jason
When
Bateman. I can't
Jason
think of
Bateman.
his name.
It's so ridiculous. I was like, oh, Jason, okay. And he pulled, I was like, and Jason Bateman is perceived as a complete, like he's John Wick or something, like the way he taking it. So for the hero to snatch the gun on him, I was like, yeah, talk your shit. You know, I was all into that movie. It was hilarious. There was another Tyler Perry movie, the one that was
There was two. There was
The one with Kelly Rowland.
Mia Culpa. No, yeah,
Yeah,
Mia Culpa. Yeah.
bullshit movie, but I enjoyed watching it. We talked about it. I remember watching that this year, and for what it was, I had a great time watching that. You know, it was most was movies like that this year that I felt like I
What about
watched.
Divorce in the Black?
Ah, which one
That's
is
the
that?
one. That's the one with Megan Good with
Oh yeah,
the
that one
husband.
too. That one too. Yeah, why not? Yeah, yeah, that one I had. It was over the top, it was ridiculous, but it was an enjoyable movie. And I could imagine if I had seen that in the theater, it would have been a riot, you know. So yeah, that's the kind of movies that I remember watching. I have tried to watch other movies, but to be honest with you, I become incredibly bored and I turn them off, because it was just something else I can do besides sitting, just having to subject myself to what I thought was just like crap. To be quite honest, I haven't seen the deep movies. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me be clear. My number one movie for this year, and I don't even think it was a new movie this year, but it was for me in America, was the first Slam Dunk. Uh, this on Netflix now, but I had saw it. I had rented it originally digitally, um, because the only reason I wanted to watch it, because I remember earlier this year it was playing in IMAX for a weekend, and I was so mad that I missed it because I was like, I've never seen an anime in IMAX. What the hell is that about? So I made a point to watch it, and this movie blew me away on first watch. Like I just couldn't believe. I was like, "What am I watching? Like, this is great." And then I immediately bought it and watched it 3 or 4 times, and I've had other people watch it with me, and everyone enjoyed it. So that was my favorite movie of the year. But I don't know. That's to me. That's where I'm at with movies, man. I'm kind of a weird spot. I'm actually more so watching older movies, like because I love watching movies. But now I've sort of discovered in my mind the deep watch of a movie. So it's movies that I've seen many times in the back in the days. I've never super watched it as an adult. And a lot of these movies are in 4K, so you can really kind of see what's going on in background. And so some of these movies are fascinating movies that I've seen many times before, but now like deep watching them and picking up on other little storylines that I may have missed or things that characters say and really try to understand what the fuck was that supposed to mean. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like I want to watch I might watch like Scarface. I've seen Scarface so many times, but I want to deep watch it. Like
You
earlier
know,
this year, I deep watched Menace to Society as a grown ass man, father. That movie, I cried throughout that movie. Everything that I thought was funny and I would joke on, I still did. But I guess maybe I don't know if it was cringe or I was also very sad because I was like, these are fucking kids in this. I never saw them as children, but now I'm way older than they are. And I'm looking, I was like, fuck, these are kids, man. Like they're involved in some of the most gruesome, and it was just them killing ourselves. Like it really resonates because if you look at where we're at now, I was like, God damn, this shit is scary. It's depressing, but it's a great movie. I mean, it's funny, but it was just I was like, wow, this is even more deeper than I thought. I wasn't mature enough to really see this movie for what it really is and the sadness of it. But go ahead.
I was going to give you some of the box offices, the top 10 films, because I was like, I was like, I listening to you, I was just like, movie kind of was a down year, but then I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, okay. Inside Out 2, $1.6 billion. So, there'd be a three. Deadpool and Wolverine, number 2, 1.3 billion. Despicable
See,
Me.
I saw that movie, and it was not a bad movie, but I totally forgot what it's about. I
Essentially,
don't
it's
really remember.
ragging on.
It's just a whole bunch of fighting and shit. But I mean, it wasn't a bad movie, but it was not in game for me. You know what I mean? It was
For
nothing over
me,
near that for me.
I think it was halfway through the film where I figured out what they were doing. They were ragging on Disney making
Right.
R-rated films and superhero movies. And it was when I was like, oh wow. I'm like, the right people did not read this script. I'm
Oh, no,
like,
they know exactly what they're doing.
oh, okay. Well,
Of course they did. They don't play no games at that. You know that they ain't playing games at that level.
Despicable Me did 969 million. Moana 2 just came out, 729
Yeah, I've
million.
seen
Dune.
these are the movies I have seen actually. Only because you take your
You
daughters.
got
Don't. I've
dollars.
seen these movies. Or at least I've slept through most of these movies.
I feel you. I feel you. I did not want to go to Inside Out 2, but it was a play day. Did not want to go to Despicable Me 4 play day. Did not want to go to Wicked. Your ass talk me into that.
You know what? I wonder if the way I'm starting to feel about movies is at least a little influence that I view movies going now as taking your kids to see some movie that they want to see, and I don't really care to want to see it, but I have to go anyway. So I'm just gonna sit there and maybe watch a little bit, and I'm just like zoning out.
So
And I wonder if that sort of influenced me. Like I don't want to go to the movies because that's just that's my experience now. You know what I mean?
I totally get you because my son and my daughter, they both be wanting me to take it, and I'll be like, but it's like if I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. So I gotta do it. I'll be on my phone the whole time. Like, wait a minute, what just happened?
See, I don't do that. Damn.
Oh, yeah,
Man, you that day.
Yes. Number 5, Doom Part 2, 714 million. So I think if they can, they're gonna make a sequel.
Oh, they already greenlit. Yeah, it's the third one is Doom Messiah. They said that before the movie came
out. Oh shit. Okay.
Well, yeah, they have to finish the story.
I thought the story was finished.
No, this was only like the first book of what they just showed you. Dune is a series of books.
God damn. So I got to take that boy to see that. God damn. Number 6, Godzilla, 571 million. Kung Fu Panda, number 7,
Oh, did that come out this year?
547 million.
Wait. I'm sorry. Godzilla minus one was this year?
No. Godzilla X Kong, the new empire. That one.
Oh,
Minus
God.
X came out last year.
Oh, okay.
The Japanese one. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Number 8, no surprise, Wicked, 540 million. Did you take Gracie to see that?
No.
You're gonna be so mad at the ending.
Not doing the witchcraft, unfortunately.
Really? Wow. Wait, what?
Oh, you those old school black people. Come on. You can just give the child to me. I got anything against it, but
Number 9,
we gotta be the witch. That's, you feel me?
Like I said, I said Wicked had to have been satire on the real world. You mean to tell? I said, you trying to tell me the white woman teamed up with the Asian woman to hurt the black woman, so to empower the white man? What does that remind you of?
Hey man, I ain't seen the movies. So I don't. My kids ain't seen. I don't know.
Number 9. I'm surprised by this because people swore up and down Sony was done. Venom, 475 million. Now, I'm sure that probably was a step back from the last 2.
Did you see that one?
No.
Oh.
I did see the second one on video when it came streaming. And
Venom, the movie Venom, even though it's successful and everything, that's how I view most movies. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to want to see that. It's Venom, the action and all that. But I look at it, it just looks like some bullshit. I already know what it is, and it ain't that good what it is. So, you know what I mean? That's how I look at a lot of these movies.
And number 10, which I'm quite sure this means it's going to get a sequel as well. Surprisingly, Beetlejuice, $451 million.
That's a lot of money. That's a flop.
You're joking, right? 451 million?
I mean, what did it? I mean, I would assume it cost almost 200 something plus million.
Beetlejuice?
Come on, I would assume just the marketing alone had to be over $100 million.
Okay, let's see.
That's that.
I can't imagine it.
Surprise! That seemed like you would expect so much more for something like that.
Wikipedia, they say 99 to 100 million.
Fuck out of here.
So that's the only place I can find it.
Add the marketing to that. But hey, if it was a success, go right here. I know it's on.
I just can't imagine it costing that much money to make that.
I mean, it seems like it would be expensive to get Michael Keaton back, because I'm sure he's like, "You gonna pay me? You can't make it without him."
I mean, with 20 million,
that's a lot of money.
Okay,
for one dude. Yeah,
but I'm still trying to understand how 451 million. You think it is a
I would thought it would be way more than that. Maybe I'm off.
Really?
I don't. I don't actually pay attention to the numbers no more. So
I'm sorry. I thought maybe 250 tops, but so 451. I'm like, damn. Okay.
I didn't see the movie either, so I have no idea.
And for the culture, Bad Boys Ride or Die was number 11 at 404 million. So salute to Will and Martin.
Yeah, salute to them. I didn't like the movie. I didn't dislike it. I am such a fan though of that franchise. I didn't think that was a step up in my opinion. I want them to continue to make them. I want them to get a different director who really understands how we see. First of all, how we see Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, not just their characters in this movie, but they're like gold. They're royalty to the game for us, and so we want them to be top tier. And I just feel like those movies aren't the top tier that they used to be, man. Like, I don't know if they need to get Michael Bay. What's his name? Michael Bay. Get Michael Bay. I know they have to pay him out the ass, but man, he know how to put down some action, man.
Well, he's
the one who started that shit too, so I don't understand why he's not in these movies. But
we just got to agree to disagree, as I really enjoyed the film. Now, my only complaint, let me take that back. I have two. One, Will's son, Mike Lowry's son, killed.
That was dope. Yeah, that part was dope.
No, I'm talking about the fact that he killed their chief, and the daughter let him go. I'm
Oh
like, I
wait,
can
okay.
understand the
I'm
daughter.
thinking of the one boy. You know,
Yeah,
you know,
Reggie.
Reggie.
Yeah,
That
Reggie.
that that was dope. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Like I could get the daughter not killing him. It's like, okay, you saved my daughter, so I'm not gonna kill you. But she let him go, and I'm like, he killed your daddy. So whatever. And then the other thing was just the overall look of the action. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
You
but see,
know,
it's not. But you know, it ain't. It ain't where it really supposed to be. Like, and especially Will Smith. Will Smith was always top tier act. You know what I mean? Come on, man. He didn't do nothing lackluster where you'd even question the shit. He
true.
was always next level. To me, Will Smith level action is supposed to be the same place where Tom Cruise level of action expectation is, in my opinion. That's where Will Smith is supposed to be. But you think Tom Cruise action, he's gonna be on that nigga. He actually doing this shit.
The other thing, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that we go to films for escapism. And I think we both know Will and Martin are getting of a certain age. They're both over 50. But do they have to remind us that they're of a certain age? Having Martin talk about his diet and whatnot. I'm like, come on, do they have to be old and have to look out for their cholesterol? Like, what is that? I get it. In the film, he has a daughter that's of age. I think she was pregnant too, so but 20.
Right.
So that to me was just like, I mean, okay, that might have been a subplot I could have left on the cutting room floor because it's like, yo, we want to think these mofos still kick ass. You don't see Tom Cruise. Well, first of all, we don't even know how old Ethan Hunt is. That's his character's name, right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So that's the one thing I wish they would have done out. I didn't need to be reminded they're getting too old for this shit.
Right. Okay. Was that all of those?
Yeah. And then I had a list of you know, films you might be excited for. Let me know if there's some that I might have left off. Of course, Captain America: Brave New World, which might have a little dark cloud over it, as there's reports that Anthony Mackie is mad that they're trying to bring Chris Evans back. I kind of get it, but as Billy would say, it's a business.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not super anticipating the movie, but I hope it's good. Uh, yeah, that's all I can say. I hope it's good. Unless I hear it's spectacular, I'll probably watch it on Disney Plus. I don't even have Disney Plus, but well, I'll say it this way: if I could watch it at home day one, I'd probably absolutely watch it. And if I had to pay $30 to do that, so what? But if I got to go to the theater to watch it, I'm probably not gonna see it unless y'all say, "Yo, this is the one." Then I'll go see it. But I mean, I've just been burned too many times by these movies. I'm not hype. Just not. I've seen it all before. We've seen it all before, so I don't really. I'm not
Well,
overly
well,
hyped.
hopefully they show us something new. And
And their
the
track
fir-
record says they don't. But again, I hope as well. I'm been burned as a customer, so I'm good. And
now, here's my thing. Do you think Disney is going to go for the Black Panther treatment like they did when Black Panther uh, premiered in Black History Month, like they do with this Captain America, since they got Black Captain America? It comes out Valentine's Day in February.
I think they're gonna do what?
Because remember in Black Panther, it was our first Black superhero,
Mm.
and they kind of went with this whole thing of, yeah, come support the Black superhero in the Black movie in Black History Month. And this was coming out on February 14th in Black History Month.
Do I think people are going to sort of push that, or I'm not sure?
Yeah, both. Do you people as well as the Disney
Oh,
marketing?
well, I would say if you're talking about how people would buy out the theaters to go see Black Panther and all that, no, I don't. I don't see the Black community doing that for this, unless they change the marketing and make us aware of this. But I never even thought about that. Even when you were saying when it comes out, it didn't even cross my mind that the connection there, because I don't see it has nothing to do. Again, from what I've seen in the trailer, I don't get that. What does that got to do about race? But Could Disney push something like that? Absolutely, they could. That might be a good angle for them personally, because I don't think there's a lot of buzz about this outside of the comic book movie community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, for me, I saw Falcon and Winter Soldier. I had super high hopes for that. It was all right, and I never watched it again. So why would I be hyped to want to see that same thing on the screen unless they're going to show me something I ain't never seen before? Now that Red Hulk thing, that's kind of cool, but I'm like, what is that? Like, I don't know the history of Red Hulk, so I'm just looking at it like, okay, president turns into the Hulk. The whole premise of that sounds ridiculous. I kind of do.
Oh Lord, and we got Trump as president too. I
was
can
gonna say it could play on a lot of different things.
I can see Trump either. I can see Trump trying to cancel Disney, saying, "What are you trying to say about the president?"
Right.
Or Trump saying, "That's right, I'm the
he's an enraged Republican. He turns into. I mean, there's a lot of ways this movie could play.
Oh Lord, Lord.
I am curious to see what the tone, because I don't think it may go the way you were just describing. It may go where certain people, are they trying to say something about Trump and black people and the Republicans? And I can see that play out more than anything else.
All right, so moving on, something I'm definitely excited to see is Ryan Coogler's new film with Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, coming on March 7th. People are saying that that's a vampire themed film. We haven't got much from that.
I'm looking. It looks like a prequel to Blade. I'm with it.
March 21st for the kiddies, the live action Snow White, which I don't know. People are a little upset about that, because of the actress.
Okay, what's the controversy though?
Well, the actress was saying that this is a new Snow White. She's not waiting on a prince to come kiss her. She can do it herself. And so people got mad at that. And I'm like, it's a fucking kid's story. Come on.
But yeah, I'm on a wait and see. Obviously, I'm like, you have daughters, so this would be something she would certainly want to see.
I'm hoping not, because I do not want to see it.
I gotta wait to hear the word. For me, Disney, I can't just automatically give them my trust.
Right.
So I gotta hear what's going on with it.
May 2nd, another Marvel film, Thunderbolts. I'm not excited for this either. Yeah, I'm not. Feige, I don't get it. Oh, side note, Feige's right-hand man, Nate Moore, resigned. Nate Moore, he was the guy behind, he worked on Blade, and I can't forget the other film he worked on with Marvel, but within circles, they were saying he was
Black Panther.
Feige relied. Yeah, Black Panther. And there was a couple of other ones, but they said he was the guy that Feige turned to and was like the cleaner.
No recast.
So
he was behind the no recasting of the child.
June 6th, it might be hype for you. Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff.
I've heard of this, but we'll see. It sound like some streaming show to me.
For old school zombie fans, 28 years later, the sequel to those earlier films come out on June 20th. I put this down because our boy Franklin Saint is in this, F1 on June 27th, starring Brad Pitt. So that could be interesting. June 27th as well, Megan 2.0. I think pretty much everybody in the Discord loved this film, loved the original, or was entertained by the original.
I feel like I've seen half of it.
Really?
Maybe I did too. It's one of those forgettable ones. Yeah, it's cool. I'm not gonna rush out in the theater to see no shit like this, but
okay. July 25th, Marvel's first take at the first family, the Fantastic Four, First Steps.
Very anticipated for sure. I would give it that. That again, let me see that trailer. It'd either be something I'll go rush out in the theater to watch, more than likely catch it when it hit digital. I'm good with that, and still can enjoy it. But yeah, not this ain't the days of Infinity War, Winter Soldier. They had
August 1st, they're doing a remake of The Naked Gun. This one starring Liam Neeson.
Really?
Yes.
Liam Neeson. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. October. I he can pull that off. I think he might be able to pull that off.
That would be very interesting. I could see him playing it. That's funny to me because to me those movies unto themselves are satire, and
Do you remember?
The cynical part of me says, why would you remake that? That'd be ridiculous to remake that today. But I guess that's the whole point of the franchise. So that'd be on brand for them to make it today.
Do you remember the scene in Atlanta where Liam Neeson addressed he meant what he said about wanting to find a black person to kill?
That's right. He was talking crazy.
Yeah. So I think
I don't know if he would get a pass on that today. But anyway.
Yeah. October 3rd, I think the culture was waiting for this one. Michael.
This is my number one movie of the year until day one without question. I'm going to the pre-release special event fan showing for $30 for this. You crazy?
Here's my question. Do you think Q? I'm putting you on notice. You have till October 3rd to grow that hair out and get that Jerry curl back in.
You may need a little bit more time.
Well, hey, you doing better than me.
Hey, man, I'd go get a Jerry curl wig and come in there. Matter of fact, man, that's gonna see now. This is the one that's people gonna go nuts for. This is gonna be the shocker of the year. I don't think we realize how.
I hope so. I hope so.
It's gonna be Black Panther style pandemonium for us. Better believe it. This is Michael Jackson. Stop it.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Black Panther is here. Michael's this. We didn't make this. This is just something they made and gave us, and we don't have nothing else to get into. So yeah, we going all in. We done grew up generations with Michael, and he's still the kids today's locked in. So man, this is the Michael movie from the culture's perspective. Unless it's a disaster trailer, they're gonna be cosplaying going to the theater. That's what you're gonna see on social media. Cats in there moonwalking. What's that? The brother that be doing all the Michael stuff on YouTube.
Michael Blackson, but not Michael Blackson.
Wow. Michael Capson.
Trapson. Yes, Trapson. I think
that brother. They better go on and cut him a check to promote because it's gonna be wild, man. People gonna be wearing their beaded Thriller coats up in there. Whole families is going, dog. That's the family. The families is going. The music people's going. The culture's going. And mainstream, it's gonna be huge, man.
If it looks good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Unless for some reason be a disaster trailer, and even that trailer gonna be one of the biggest trailers of the year. I guarantee you. That nigga worldwide, baby. You talking about, man, Michael's. I'm hyped. See how hyped I'm at? This is the movie. And they bet, man, they better. Good goddamn. And that's the thing. That boy playing.
You'll go Joe Jackson on everybody?
Listen, I'm dead ass serious. The young man playing Michael, that's gonna be the most scrutinized role for quite a while, man. And he has to kill it. Because if he don't, this movie, we're gonna all go see it, and we're gonna all talk shit if it ain't good. But we're all gonna go see it either way. That first weekend is gonna be ridiculous.
Well,
let the music start bubbling too on the charts and everything pre-release. Oh, it's over. It's over.
Okay, so I went to the Wikipedia to get some info on it. So, of course, we got Antoine Fuqua. I mean, his resume speaks for itself.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Come on, man.
We got
Nia Long.
You got Coleman Domingo as Joe, Nia Long as Catherine, Laura. Let's see, Kat Graham. Who is Kat Graham?
Kat Graham. She played Jada. Of course, she had history with Prince. You know what I'm saying?
Is she a little too light to be playing Diana Ross?
No, she could nail that.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess they went for the best person for the job. So, okay, Lorenz Tate as Barry Gordy, which I'm like, dope. What? If he brings that power energy, he might be able to steal the whole movie.
He's dope.
Yeah, but this is being distributed by Lionsgate, domestically, Universal, internationally. So.
And they said they're going hard. This is their movie of the year. They've already said that back when they had that.
Lionsgate?
Yeah, they when they had a big presentation, they've shown the bits of the movie to the industry people. They had a big thing about this. They just don't they understood, but they said they're going to push this bigger than any. They're going Oscar with this.
Okay, so the writer so far is a John David Logan. He's a white man, graduated from Northwestern. So I'm kind of like, but to his credits, he has Gladiator, The Aviator, Sweeney Todd, the James Bond film Skyfall, which people say that was the best one of the series. So I'm like, okay, they got somebody that's going to hopefully give us a good script.
What I want to see, I'm curious if they're gonna just go the CGI route for them. That's what I'm saying. The CGI in this has to be ILM worthy because they got to show the very different stages of Michael's features. That's those details. The fans and us as the fans of Michael, we need to see that. It literally needs to almost be Michael in the movie. I'm telling you, man, it live or dies on the way this guy acts this part. He has to be the essence of Michael. And you're gonna have to address the way his features look, the skin color is gonna change. And I'm curious how are they using the CGI for the nose? I've seen the pictures of the prosthetics, but that ain't it. We don't keep it a buck. So they must gonna be doing something on the screen to really nail the Mike. And Mike had different noses and looks. So, and the hair I'm saying it's all. And again, they're gonna show us the Michael behind the scenes, Michael, and we gotta believe that shit. When the lights go off and he's just with Mom, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, Mom. Michael, you get out there and you be the best thing you can be. Don't care about what Joseph said. You do it for you.
See, the thing is,
I'm already crying this thing.
See, my thing is twofold. Because you bringing up the mother, Nia Long, salute. She has a nice resume.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm just saying. I think they could have got a stronger actress to play that role. If you're trying to say these type of scenes, I'm like, I've never seen Nia Long deliver what you're trying to put out there.
I'm not gonna. We're not gonna let you do that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Just be along.
One other thing, Graham King.
Love Jones.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me.
Okay. One other thing, there's a Graham King. He's on as producer. His credits are Bohemian Rhapsody, which got an Oscar for. I can't think of his name. Rami Malek. Mm-hmm. And he did The Departed, The Aviator, and Hugo. So cool. They got some good people behind this putting this picture together. So
for sure, this is top tier, man. I'm telling you, they got to listen. This movie gonna be deep, man. And we didn't even talk about the music and the performances. I'm saying this ain't your regular movie. This dude is going to deliver because Mike delivered. And you can't half step in that.
I am not worried about the dance and musical performance because his family and his pedigree. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that.
Alone can carry the movie.
Yeah.
So, but they're going to.
This ain't no shade at Purple Rain, but Purple Rain wasn't the greatest films, but because of those musical performances.
Oh no, that's not shade. That's facts. We said that when it came out. Ain't nothing new. But now this is a drama movie. This is gonna be acted cold. The performance has got to be cold. The look got to be. This is the first Black superstar family, man. You're not coming with no half nothing. This got to be on point.
Now, my concern is how it comes to be 19 because you got to tell their life in Gary. You got to tell the Jackson 5 leaving Motown, superstar Mike, King of Pop Michael, and then you got to get into the fall and then the death. I'm like, can they really deliver that within 2 hours?
Yes, they can. Absolutely. We've seen it many times before. Malcolm X is a perfect example. You follow his whole history. So it can be
Okay.
done.
Well, I pray, but my thing, and it's like I say this, you go like, well, what about Malcolm X? I'm just saying that there's so much that we want to learn or see, and
Right.
I'm just kind of concerned. Can you get that in 2 hours? Because it's a lot. Like
Go
the
see
Motown 25.
go see the Broadway play. Yeah,
Okay.
answer your question. If they can
Okay.
do it in live action and do it, then they can certainly do it in a highly edited, meticulously shot and detailed acted movie.
Now, here's my question: do you think we get a Prince cameo or a Prince mention?
It's quite possible. I don't know about a cameo, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Again, we're talking about Michael Jackson, so you'll probably have a cameo of everybody in the game. Right. To keep it a buck. You're gonna probably have a Stevie. You're gonna have the Diana that I told you.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, this is Michael Jackson. This is, he for the world. Everybody's touch is connected.
Now, I'm saying it right now. If they don't have I think it was the Dangerous Tour or was one of those where he just stood there for 10 minutes and people fainting. I'm just saying you gotta have. I mean, clearly not for 10 minutes, but I'm just saying I hope they for these youngins that keep trying to tell us Chris Brown, Justin Timberlake, Harry Styles is the new king of pop. They need to see that. To see that. I guess I got 3.
They're gonna see. That's what I said. I think we're all gonna see. Hopefully, the Michael we never got to see. That's the thing. What was he doing right before he did all that shit that blew us away? Was he struggling with some shit, or and what was the motivations behind it? What did he really think about the allegations? And was he talking about it with his family and stuff? What was those conversations? That's what I want to see, like, so we can he was going through that. That's why that one Michael movie, that was that TV movie with the bodyguards, man, that shit showed me some shit that shit made me cry. Like, that shit touched my heart watching that. And that was on some bull. I mean, production value on that was on some bullshit. But I thought I was watching Michael going through all that, and I never would have considered he was even going through shit like that. So if this movie does this on a big scale and it's dope and IMAX and all, man, we about to be head busted. And when you hear all that and you in that Dolby Atmos, that, man, it's gonna rock, man. We ain't never seen nothing like this. Not Michael. I presented, acted in the story. It's gonna be incredible, man.
Okay.
I think it's gonna blow up.
So I got 3 more.
And then, bro, I'm sorry, man. Niggas gonna go see this multiple times too. See, it's also gonna say it's gonna be up there on some Avengers style, because the families, they gonna take kids over, and just the fans or older black people. I'm talking about the older generations that really, for the original MJ fans, they gonna be on this heavy. So you're gonna see a lot of older people in the theaters, heavy, like you don't normally see. And the youngins gonna be there because it's, so it's gonna be, this is a different type of film, man. They're bigger than all these little movies we're talking about.
All right, I from your lips to God's ears, and make that happen. We'll see. When we see the trailer, I'll get the same faith that you have in this film as you do. The Running Man, they're doing a remake of that, November 21st. Then November 21st, also the second part to Wicked. And then James Cameron is back, Avatar, Fire and Ash, December 19th.
Okay, interesting. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I saw the second one and I liked it. I would lie.
It's cool. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I did. The theater going experience of it was fascinating. I mean, 3D and all that, and the high frame rate. That shit was. I was like, okay, James. I don't ever want to see this again, but goddamn, this is a thrill ride.
That's the way I felt about the first one.
Yeah. One and done, but he gave me what I need. I can't be mad at that.
So moving on, we got to talk about it. Biggest news in music. Our boy.
Actually, before we get into that, I want to. I actually have some books. I didn't go hard on the movies, but I did go hard on the books.
I'm about to do that. I'm about to do that quote from the Boondocks. Nigga, is you reading?
Hilarious. Yes, nigga, we do read. Oh, real quick. So, the other honorable mentions of movies, things that I watched, I will have to give it up to this. I don't think it's coming in right, but the Glam Slam, Diamonds and Pearls,
that's what you was put up. Okay.
that is fantastic. Uh, I wish that the estate would just release that digitally so people could either buy it digitally or rent it so they could experience it. Because it's a shame that it's just locked behind the special edition $300 thing that you're not going to pay just to watch that. But fantastic. Again, the 4K Purple Rain, fantastic. I watched that multiple times. So I did watch those. But some of the books that I read this year that I would recommend. Quickly, I did a reread of this book called The Forever War. It's a military sci-fi book. I want to say this came out late 70s or early 80s. Written by the author John Hildeman, Vietnam vet. He basically wrote about what it was like being in the Vietnam War and then coming home, but it's told in a science fiction setting. Essentially, we are fighting these aliens far off, and you can sign up to be in the military because you'll get all the benefits. Thing is, you'll travel way out there. By the time you came back, it'd be like 50 years done went by or more. So it's like, what do you do when you come back to the world and it's totally different? And you don't really even know what you're fighting. So fascinating stuff. Quick read, but I'm surprised this has not been a movie. The Scourge Between Stars. It's a nice little thin book. Ness Brown, sister. Think of aliens, but on a giant ship, a generation ship. Her dad is the captain. He done locked himself in his cabin and ain't came out in months. They're traveling to this planet. They don't know exactly where they're going, but it's taken the generations to get there. And now they're thinking maybe it should turn back around and go back to Earth because this is not working. And there's rebellions and riots going on the ship. And then, of course, here come like these alien beasts.
Oh Lord.
It's wow. Quick, you'll read this in a weekend and just be a nice thrill ride. Like, shit is crazy. Real quick. I started the manga Monster. I've always been wanting to read this. I've never seen the anime, but great psychological mystery doctors and man, the serial killer. This is some good shit. I've only read volume 1 so far, but I love this. I'm gonna pick up the rest of them. Okay, my sci-fi shit. I finally read Red Rising this year. It's all right to me. Toward the end, I was like, yeah, I finally got into it. So I do want to pick up the next one, Golden Sun. People swear by this, but if you like sci-fi adventure, you're gonna love this. I read the first book novelization of Rebel Moon. I was a big fan, somewhat of the movie. This came out before the director's cut, but this is a novelization of the director's cut. So I had read this when the movie first came out, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, the director's cut is gonna be crazy." And it was cool. It was all right.
I still have not watched the second half of Rebel Moon. I haven't watched it all. I think I watched the first 30 minutes of it. I that's gonna be on my to-do list over the Christmas break.
That was this year, wasn't it? That was this year.
No.
Rebel Moon was earlier this year, I believe. It was like early this year. And I think it was. I will say I did enjoy that initially when I watched it. I was really hyped. Was it this year? Oh, I mean, the uncut versions came out this year. Let me say that.
Yeah, April 19th.
Okay. Yeah. I did enjoy the uncut versions. I don't know if I could ever watch them again, but man, bravo for everything he did in that. I'm shocked that they will allow somebody the budget to make that when it's not a proven thing. So I loved it just off of the rip of that because there was so much going on, and it kind of ends on a cliffhanger too. And I'm like, I can only hope he would be able to do another one. Probably wouldn't, but man, fantastic stuff. My last couple ones here, Shards of Earth. This is book one of this trilogy. What do they call this? The Final Architecture, the Final Architecture series. Adrian Travasky, if I'm saying his name right. I have another one of his books, Children of Time, which I've only read half, but that is a fascinating, dope ass book. This one was great. This reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's just like a rip roaring, you know, adventure, a big cast crew of this ship. Um, and they're into some shit. And there's these things called the architects. I don't know if you can see, they just go around the galaxy and they'll just rip a planet in shards, and everyone will just get killed. And they're trying to figure out, is there some random way that this is working? And so this crew, they're on a mission to figure out the mystery behind that. But again, looking at the cover, to me, it looked like read some bullshit I wouldn't read. But like I said, if you like Guardians of the Galaxy, that type of sci-fi, this is what this is, So this, but it's even probably a little more vicious. And actually, it's actually very more vicious and strange. There's some grotesque aliens and things in this, but it's fascinating. All right, my last is the Sun Eater series. I know a lot of people swear by these books. I thought they were some bullshit, just kind of looking at them. But I started with this one. This is the first book. Took me a long time to read this because it wasn't clicking for me. I was like, I don't like this type of shit. But I kept reading. This is starting to get interesting. I put it down for a couple months, but I kept hearing like, dude, you got to get in. This is the shit, right? You gonna love this. So I went ahead and finished it. And by the last third act of this, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, this is what I want the movies to be like. God damn it. So this was cool. This will remind you of Dune a little bit. I think it was highly influenced by that a little bit. But I liked it enough to pick up the second one. The second one, go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was going to say now, someone who didn't really feel the second Dune, do you think I'd enjoy reading that?
Well, this is like Dune in the sense of, it almost is like that character, the main character. He's come from this royal family. But it would be like if he was from Dune and he got outcasted from the family in a different way. And then he goes on to some other planets. And, this turns into a colossal movie like Gladiator for a little bit. But then it turns into, I can see the Star Wars, and I'm like, oh, yo. This was, and I would say, this would be like if Anakin, I think the author describes if Anakin turned into Darth Vader, but it was for good reasons. Like it was probably the right thing to do. It's kind of hard. Nevertheless, Howling Dark, the book 2, started getting into this. To me, how this was kind of like, it took me months, nigga. Once I started reading this, I was like, I don't want to do nothing else but read. This was like, I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. It was action packed, a deep story world. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's all this stuff going on, sort of being hinted at, and then he's diving into, shit that'll make you be thinking about shit. But it's still action packed adventures, like the best parts of Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. But then also a deep, like Game of Thrones in terms of the interconnected stories, but it's all being told from one dude's perspective. Nevertheless, and then this character right here, when I look at this book, it was on some bullshit. I'm like, what is this shit? Is this even science fiction? This is my nigga, right? You feel me? This he would be like, we heard stories of Luke Skywalker. That was just some childhood shit. That was fairy tales. And then you meet that motherfucker. And you're like, what? And you're like, yeah, that shit was real. Like, well, then you must be like thousands of years old. Yeah, yeah, nigga, I am. And so, what do you think I would be like if I was? It's hard. So this is some shit. Listen, I finished this book, right? And I finished it with the combination of audiobook. That was the other thing. I had to listen to some of this to really click. So I had the audiobooks for both of these. And that's what helped me sort of because it's a lot of I'm not this is the type of sci-fi I never thought I would be into. But once I was like get the names together and I know how they say it and it started clicking, I was like, okay. So I would listen to a little bit and read. I finished this. I read it right. And when I got to the end, my mouth was open. I was like, yo, this book was gangsters. Fucking, it can't be. I must have missed some shit because it's just as I was thinking about what the fuck did I just read? I started it over. I've never done that in my life. I started over and I done already, and that was only like a month ago. I'm about to, I've been saving this last little bit because I already know what happened. But god damn, when I read it again, I have to salute this Christopher Rocchio, man. This is one of the fucking best books I've ever written. I mean, ever read, excuse me. Like this shit was vicious. And I already got the third book, Demon in White. And they say the third book is the one that's gonna kick your ass. So I can't imagine what follows this. This was fat. This was brilliant, man. This was everything I wanted Star Wars and all that shit to be. It can be a lot to read if you're not, but once you get into this, man, I'm telling you, man, this is where it's at. And there's 6 books out now so far. I think the last book comes out next year. Man, I'm on board. I ain't never been on board for no shit like this. Yeah, fuck Star Wars and all that. Fuck Marvel, all that shit. I'm good. Yeah, man. This is where it's at, man. You want that action, but you want that thought provoking. You be like, oh shit, it's the technology. There's some shit that's tying to our earth now, how he slyly threw this shit. I was like, man, I love this shit. Anyway. So yeah, those are my book recommendations. Some good shit. Like I said, this was better than any movies I've seen in the last couple of years.
I guess I'd have to pick up the audiobook because I'm looking at every time you pick up those books, I'm like, God damn, that's a lot of pages.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. The audiobooks are and the audiobooks for these are badass. Like most of them, it's hard for me to keep my attention. But once it clicked in, man, I was like, I listened to it in the car, I'm driving. Then I'll go back home and reread that shit. Same shit I listened to. I'm like, oh yeah, now I know. Oh, this. So anyway, wanted to just deviate into that. But there are some great books out there. I implore you to check it out.
Okay, I need to get away from aimlessly scrolling TikTok and Instagram, as well as trying to find some bullshit to watch on these streaming channels. Let me go ahead and up my vocabulary, keep the mind sharp.
Hey man,
read.
You know another thing I did too? Start doing
journaling.
You're funny. Get your little, vape pen, or get your little joint or something, and then jump in one of these books. Man, that's what I'm saying, man. And me, like I put my music. I'll have like some Star Wars or something playing in the back. I'm telling you, I'll be at the movies. Like I'm like, yo, this is what I felt like when I was watching Empire and all that. But if they were HBO TV series or something, you know what I mean?
I might have to set up the experience.
Yeah, man. All right, we wanted to get into music. I think you said.
Yeah.
Before we go, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, in regards to music, were there any like what was your any favorite albums or any songs or things this year?
Come on, bro. Come on.
Right. Well,
there's only. First of all, I really do not keep up with the music of today like that. I just don't. I rarely find anyone that I need to follow along with. And shoot, not even just not this is not an indictment of the current musical genre. I don't ever do that because I feel like each generation repeats the same cycle. We shit on the people
Right.
that come before us, and then we think ours is the greatest, and then nobody can do it better. And then the new generation, we like, oh, they ain't like us. So I don't want to be like that way. I just feel like, hey, that's y'all music. Y'all like it, I love it, but it ain't for me. So I just have, as far as today's music, I really don't find a lot of music that just it really excites me, except for Kendrick Lamar. Now the problem with that is the reason why I got into Kendrick, the reason why I'm on Kendrick Lamar this year is because he's shitting on Drake, and it's been a long time coming. But at the same time, with Kendrick Lamar, what needs to be studied, what he did, because he put out, I think it was Like That, and then Euphoria. If you go listen to Euphoria is, and we're gonna get into this in a moment. Euphoria is the song that Drake should have been suing over, because the shit that he said in that was just like, my dude. That should have had a normal person crying. And then he came with not Like Us, which again, he had some knockout blows in there, but it was the fact that that song, he had the call and response, he had those hooks, he had arguably the beat of the year that took it to this huge, monumental, cultural defining level and song that, while people revere No Vaseline, Dre Day, Ether, it's undeniable the impact that Not Like Us have. It's people already saying it's the greatest because of the impact. Because as great as those songs were lyrically and even sonically, I guess that'd be the word you say, none of them had the impact that Not Like Us had. None of them led to lawsuits. So that right there,
probably led to a few ass whoopings, but not a lawsuit.
I hope not. I hope Ether didn't. I hope Ether didn't. But yeah, that's for me. It's K Dot all day. Yes, I'm being a homer, and going with dude from Compton, which is Los Angeles adjacent. He released GNX, which he came. It's so amazing. Drake had the line, "You make music for people to protest and march to," and all he's done since then is made music that people. Made music that people can go out and two-step dance, all that played up in the club between Not Like Us and now Squabble Up. People love Squabble Up. Woo! He got I seen that. I'm listening to that. So I put up 2 videos on Instagram. My daughter. I promise you, I am a good father. I really am. But every time I hear my daughter out of nowhere singing the lyrics to Not Like Us, I question myself, like, oh Lord, what did I do? What did I do? But I think back and look like I had no business singing Dre Day. I had no business singing No Vaseline. I had no business singing Ain't No Fun. Now I was 12, 13, but
I don't think Ain't No Fun had the cultural relevance. Thank God. Thank God.
To a certain culture, it does.
Well, but not mainstream. They're not going to play that at a Super Bowl game. That would be shit if they did, because the whole place. I don't give a fuck. Whoa, what the hell's going on? America.
It's the fact that Nate singing just draws you in. It gets you a nice.
Man, I met you last night, baby.
Think it's a love song. Before you opened up your gap. Wait, what?
Like, whoa, what the hell? I got Obama up there. I never tell you later. That nigga drunk. Give it all by.
Speaking of Obama,
let that be the tape that leak out on Obama one day. He was at some wild Diddy. He was at the Diddy party acting a fool. He was singing "Ain't No Fun." It ain't no fun.
Michelle, come on. Ain't no fun.
I niggas can't. Wow.
But speaking
Yo, you
of
said that.
Obama,
That would be how I would actually join as a card carrying member. The Democrats if that came out.
but speaking of Obama, he put out his favorite songs of the year, and I'm calling cap.
No, they got, I'm sorry. And they had Biden in there. He do Warren G's part. Back up, bitch, cause I'm juggling. Get on his knees and then start juggling. Motherfucking next in your mouth. It's me, Biden, and you ain't black. All right.
You going to hell. You ain't black.
You ain't black.
If you don't vote for Biden. I know Q listening like, them niggas must be high.
It's just those pro-black jokes. Oh, Lord.
You see, the CIA didn't anyway. But speaking of Obama, he put out his list of favorite songs this year, and I call cap. He had a Kendrick Lamar song on it. It wasn't Not Like Us. It was Squabble Up. And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You know that what that ain't your favorite song. You're not trying to hurt Drake's feelings. Stop it.
Right.
Come on. Great song. But if you're gonna have a Kendrick Lamar song on your favorite songs of the year, how is it not Like Us? Come on, man. You know damn well he was two-stepping with Michelle behind closed doors with that song. So stop it. Stop it.
Did Kamala put out her list?
Who?
Kamala.
Be over that.
Oh, y'all don't know. I'm sure number one would be Not Like Us. Then probably like Tupac and Too Short song, some Tribe, right?
But I just want to get your thoughts. What are you thinking about this whole Drake suing UMG?
Well, I think it's an it's an understatement to say it is an interesting move and tactic for him to do. I would question if it really has anything to do with the diss rap battle between him and Kendrick, and then it had more to do with some probably behind the scenes negotiations on business, because that's a chess move against a major corporation like that has wide ranging repercussions for a person. Rap battles would probably be the least of the concern, because you're sort of writing a line in the sand of the industry, and once he jumps over that line, you can't go back, right? You jumped over and slapped them in the face in public, and then you're not going to be able to just go back and turn your back to that and not think they're not going to smack the shit out of you, or you'll never be allowed to come back over here. You just smacked them in the face. So it's a move that is saying, well, I'm going this direction. Consider me one of the big dogs, or I'm gonna be blackballed, right? Because I just think it's an interesting move for an artist like that to move. It's, to me, on one hand, as I think about it, it's kind of a Prince move, changing your name to a symbol type of thing toward the industry. It's an artist saying, I'm against whatever y'all, and he's going after their practices and saying that they're doing something wrong, right? He's accusing them of doing something illegal, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, he's challenging the entire system. He's saying to Spotify and all the other streaming services and the music labels, F, you guys are cheating us. So how do you know what I mean? Like, so and if they decide that you're wrong, you think they're going to go against each other? They're in bed with each other. You're just the worker, really. That's how they've shown you are the worker. Even though the digital companies are newcomers to the game, they have more money and power than you, the creator, because the people that you work for are in bed with them. They went direct. You see what I'm saying? Remember, we talk about the internet was going to allow the artist to cut out the middleman. Actually, no, nigga, you're the middleman. You feel me? Your
Wow.
your
Yeah.
your work is the middleman because one, you don't control the pipe way that people were getting this shit, and you've already signed a deal to somebody that you work for somebody else exclusively. So everything you do is theirs. You just work for them. Why would we do business with you? You're the middleman. We want to get access to the catalogs of everybody. So we go deal with the record company because they got all the catalog. We don't want just your catalog. We want them all. We want to stream it all out for free so we can get paid off of the work. Why would I go to the guy who just only owns the small bit of work when I got the guy who owns it all? And I want to make money off of all of that. Damn you. You don't have no leverage here. So yeah, we've inflated this to be because we're making money on all of it. Right? I make Spotify and them making the money off the stream of Kendrick's songs and your song, Nick. Let them, if this one's moving a little bit more, okay, push it that way so we can get more money. That's how the game works. And he's mad about that, I guess. But again, which he has a right to be, but you're going to find out. They're not going to drop the support of the music labels to come support 2 or 3 artists. It's not going to work like that. So that's what I'm saying. So I'd be interested to see. And I don't think most of these artists have the united front to confront all of this on their own.
And more importantly, the capital.
A lot of them have sold their catalogs already, right? You saw that in the last year or so. Major people selling their catalogs. So these other people already own that shit anyway. You know, they got their 300 million payouts or whatever it was. So all of it's up there, you know. So that's my thoughts on the Drake thing. I'm curious to see what becomes the outcome of that. But he certainly has sort of done a chess move. I'm very curious to see the response, the long-term response of that. And, you know, I can see you got Kendrick is in a position to be on the Super Bowl and doing all this stuff. They have somebody, again, Ice Cube told you this way back in the day. They don't care. They'll have a new nigga next year. And no matter how big you think you are, there'll be a new you at some point. And as quickly as that can, it'll be the rapper you didn't even think ain't even Kendrick. I don't know, Drake was like, Kendrick? Nigga, I've been on here for how many years? I am the culture. And
he was my opening act.
Yeah, just like that, in a matter of months. And he doing a Super Bowl. And that song, like you said, is a cultural phenomenon. Yeah, he's a cultural phenomenon. You think they're not going to capitalize on that just because of your feelings? This is a business. Well, what is they supposed to do?
I'm still trying to understand what is the end game. I mean, he's trying. How are you trying to sue the people you trying to get a bag from? How is this going to play out?
He is going to see just a nigga. You really thought you was on their level, that you would be able to pull their coat because somebody making you look bad. And they're going to remind you, you only look white. Okay.
You trying to say he's still nigga? And
this is Jewish. You are part of you are Jew. He actually is, wasn't he Jewish too?
Half Jewish, yeah.
Jewish. Yeah. But let's be clear. Your perception of you winning versus us over the grand scale of money is going to lose because our entire business is more important than it looking like you are being slighted. And if you don't realize that and he could just take the L and let this pass and let him have his moment and then come back out with some more jams and be back on top again. But instead, he has pulled this move. And so now, you know, they ain't got no choice. They have no choice but to spank his ass a little bit for the rest of y'all not to think you can get out of line.
True.
You know?
The thing that
they will never do nothing to disrupt. They will never allow them to disrupt their business. I don't care what their lawsuit. They ain't gonna never allow nobody to disrupt their power structure for something like minuscule like this. That's not gonna never happen. They don't even allow the Metallicas. They wouldn't allow to just as much as we're gonna sue Napster and all that. And where they at? The thing they were suing about is now the game, right?
yeah.
So and they don't never allow nobody to get over what they're doing. This is not gonna work.
The crazy thing about it is Drake didn't take any self-reflection on the fact that he said that Kendrick beat his girlfriend, and that came and went. He doesn't have the self-reflection to realize, okay, Kendrick accused you of being a PDF file, and that's sticking. Where's the self-reflection on why everybody's quick to believe that, but they didn't believe what you said about Kendrick? So that's my thing. Like, you mad that Universal let him put out this song accusing you of that, but you ain't doing the self-reflection of why are people still believing it? Why? But they didn't believe what you said about Kendrick.
See that part, that type of stuff there. I can only hope that's not the mindset he has, but it seems like it is, because to me, I don't care what he said about him. You don't ever let the words of another man knock you off your square. It just doesn't. So to me, that's what I'm saying. So the
All you
whole
have to do is look at Kendrick.
premise of it, he should have just oh, that song is popping. You got one. You got me. Cool. No, way, I'm rich. And what are you talking about? I can still come with heat. Let him have his run. It didn't have to be nothing else. But I guess it exposes what kind of person he really is. That's how I see it. He is doing exactly what I thought that type of cat was. He was a buster, but he blew up and he got around real, certified people, Lil Wayne's and these people. And at the end of the day, he's very talented at what he does. He's a talented rapper, one of the best rappers. But I think he, inside of him, who he is, he was a buster, an outsider to the culture, really. There's been a lot of cats like him before, but he became the man. We just never seen one of them actually become the man and become the dominant face. But there's a reason, in my opinion, why, and I'm not into it as much, but it would seem as if he doesn't have the influence that the rappers before him came out. I don't really see people wanting to look like Drake. Maybe they do, but I see when 50 was big, he dominated. Everyone was kind of dressing like that, became the style, the way he carried himself, the hat tip, his whole look. People was trying to be like that. Same with NWA, Ice Cube, Daddy Kane, everyone,
Tupac.
everyone wanted to be them niggas. Jay-Z, everybody wanted to wear the same shit, even in the South. But to me, Drake, I don't know how he influences the culture in terms of, was niggas trying to really be that? So I don't know. That's, to me, he was always seemed like an outsider. And these moves just sort of confirm what I thought. Like, yeah, he was a buster. He made it. He's still a buster. He's rich. He's a rich buster. You know what I'm saying? And cats that don't really care about the success like that, just see right through it. Like, yeah, okay, you got money, you about to hold still a sucker? Like, cool. All right.
It's kind of like what Kendrick said. He told the truth about Drake, and it just turned people like, damn it. It's like everything. It's like if he wasn't exaggerating anything, he's just like, hey, do you peep what he's doing? Do you see how when he broke in, not like us, when he broke down how he went to Atlanta and stole that whole vibe and culture? People was like, oh yeah. That's the more damaging thing. It's like, it wasn't like, and please forgive me, it wasn't like Dre Day when Dre is accusing Easy of kidnapping kids and fucking them. Nobody believed that shit.
Right.
But here when he said that you messed with Young Thug, 21 Savage, Migos, and everybody's like, damn, yeah. So you can't. It's kind of it's easy to attack jokes than it is facts and truth.
Mm. Yeah, but yeah, and to be quite honest, aside from hearing, you can't not hear Not Like Us. This is a part of just pop culture, period. But I've never actually sat down and listened to the song in my life. Not that I have anything against it. I actually just don't. I don't know. There's something about Kendrick's voice. It just
Yes,
doesn't
yes.
work. Doesn't work for me. But what he's
Same.
saying and the lyrics are bomb. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. There's a lot of rappers over the years I just can't re-listen to their voice, and he's one of them. I don't think I've ever really listened to. I've never listened to his music on my own. Like I've never added any of his songs to my playlist. Put it that way. But I think he's one of the talent. He's the most talented. I think he's one of the most brilliant rappers we've seen in quite a long time. Like that's what I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of how he moves. The way he doesn't. He don't be all out there. I've seen him all on the shows talking crazy. He's just doing his work. He's very thought provoking. You can see he very analytical. He seems to be that type of person. So that's what I love about it. I also love, let's say this, just going back to the whole Kendrick Drake beef. I love this though. I love how Not Like Us, what is has done and what it's doing. This reminds me of how hip hop used to be when it was them songs that dominated for the summer or something. And they was anthems, nigga. Everybody knew the words. It would come on, no matter where you was at. Hi, what I mean? It was just that unity, that feeling. This is to me, this is what hip hop is the power of rap. His brothers were making these songs and what they was about. We all felt it. We were all in the same thing at that one time. We're like, yeah, I feel that. Okay, yeah, that's the notes. Okay. So to me, it brought back that feeling, but it on a global scale where we all got to see it in real time. And the takeaway for me is I hope people understand this is what our music can be, man. Like this is what music is. This is the shit that we make. A song that, in my opinion, when I first kind of heard it, I didn't sound like some throwaway shit. To me, just sonically, it sounded like it was just thrown together. Like it wasn't mixing. It doesn't sound like Dr. Dre shit. Most people don't. But I mean, for the song, for the magnitude that it is now, it didn't come across that way when I first heard it. I just like, oh yeah, this sound like the normal type of shit I be hearing from them. You know what I'm saying? Wee, 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 wee. I was like, okay, that's cute. But it hit at the right time. And I think everything about it even made it even greater. But and it ended up being one of those rap songs that are legendary rap songs that we've had through this culture. I don't think we've had in a long time like this. This reminds me of like PE or something. Like when Public Enemy was popping, and when Fight the Power came on, that was it comes across as just some bullshit, but some song from the movie. But when it first was popping, it was like Not Like Us. That was the shit. Every hood, East Coast, West Coast, that was the shit. That was our shit. Fight the Power. The way it sounded, the way he was talking about the message. Yeah, fuck John Wayne. Yeah, we was on that. You know what I'm saying? Never fuck them niggas didn't mean nothing to me. Our heroes. I mean, it was like, oh shit. That's how Not Like Us is. So I love that. Like, this is the power of rap, man. I hope we don't forget. This is how great our shit is, man. And they can't control that song blew up so much. They probably did see, like, yo, this is something different. We need to put the gas on this one. But so imagine, I hope the next one is even more powerful because the lyrics and the tone behind this song is great for us. That's they're trying to co-opt that message of that shit because what their song is really saying. Yeah, none of them they're not like us. We're not like them. We on some special shit. That's what that song is. And they're talking about black folks in the song. We'll be very
Right.
clear. Everyone else can adopt it for their thing. But this is what the song is to us. This is how it was made. So imagine this is the vibe that we can put forth. So we can do more of this. So you can have the wops and all the other shit. But look what happens when we put the real shit on, talking about our real upliftment, and look how it went beyond us. The whole world. See how we influence people? We can influence y'all to change everything and be on some positive shit. And they know that. That's why they really control how these songs pop. I bet you they had no idea this shit was gonna blow up like this. And there was no real way to spin it any other way but to let it be what it is. And if they had to sacrifice one of their own top stars, they had no choice. You know what I'm saying? That's how cold we are as a people. They put the person that they done propped up, and then we done come back and took it over. They can't even spin it no way like that. They were like, the niggas got it again. Ain't nothing we can do.
And that's the thing, is him saying that they inflated it, which they might have, because I mean we heard how the music industry gets down.
Yeah, they had no choice but to inflate it because we bulldozed it. It was a bulldozer.
Right. But the night that it dropped, it was a hit.
Yeah, that was everybody was like,
you heard that beat, you heard the call and response and all. Forget the lyrics. It was a well-built music song, music composition. I mean, come on, OV Ho.
Well,
again, that's remedial, but that shit was like,
no,
yeah.
It speaks to the undercurrent where everyone was already feeling about that situation anyway. They were just waiting for somebody to articulate it where they didn't seem like they was going to be hating, and it was put under a very hypnotic, very simple, but hypnotic musical bed that you can't, it was pure rap. It was pure hip hop. Like, God damn, it was infectious. Like rap used to be. Like you can't escape it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. They had no choice but to promote it because it was a real hit song. And if they didn't promote it, it'll look like something was wrong.
Bro, yeah. The end of the first verse where he says A minor. When Drake heard that, he should have been like, shit, this is over. It's over. Because I'm plain and simple. And again, people listen, forgive me. Right. My daughter says that part. 7, she says that part because the shit is catchy. Call and response, for the most part, always work. And they meticulously built out a undeniable phenomena of the song. And trying to say that they boosted it up or it really wasn't that big. No, it was big the first day, the first hour. Everybody was talking about that.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we can't unlisten it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how it got there. It is what it is. So you have a choice to, like I say, you can just take the L on that, go back in the lab, or you can cry about it.
Plain and simple. Jay-Z, to this day, everybody says he lost the beef with Nas. I think he dropped Takeover, and that was a banger. I still think it's the better song than Ether, but everybody says Nas killed him with Ether. Here it is, 20-some years later. You think Jay-Z is sweating that?
Neither one of them are sweating.
Yeah, he took the L. He's like, call me a Tybo ho. Damn.
Yeah, you got me. That was a salute that you did. Yeah, man. That was a good one. That's how rap battles used to go. Look at all the people forget about it, but LL Cool J back in the day, he was that dude. You didn't want to. People was and he would smack you the fuck down. Everyone he smacked the hell down. They all cool to this day. Like Ice-T.
That was part. It was part of the game. Yeah. It was part of the game. You're like you try now. You try to be the best MC, and sometimes you got to go challenge who people are saying is the best MC. You don't take it personal. You come back and spit out her. KRS-One and was the MC Shan? Come on. Now that might have been a little different because that was New York shit right there. But still,
that was huge.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it was more than just hip hop. It was New York as well.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
so
mm.
yeah, it's part of the game. Everybody that took an L. Ice Cube. I mean, I remember Mac 10 talking about, man, Common got us. He got, you know, on
Mhm,
the
mm,
bitching you. Come on, the song was called The Bitching You.
right.
And they said he got him. It's I think everybody then got I think it's a rite of passage in hip hop. You didn't have to take an L
Well,
at some
yeah, I
point.
would be fair. The Ice Cube Common thing, that got squashed because of, uh, Minister Farrakhan.
Well, I'm just saying they said that he got him on that record.
I don't think he got on personally, but
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Mac 10 said that Common got
Well, I
the
mean, I'm not
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm not saying better than them. They
yeah,
never heard of them.
yeah.
All right, anything else on the Kendrick Drake thing?
Nah, I'm good.
Um, well, I did have a couple of, there's a lot of albums that came out this year, I'm not gonna lie. But some standouts, one, because it just came out, the Snoop Dogg Missionary. Um, I love it. And when I first heard it, I didn't love it. I was like, "What the hell?" I was hearing some of the songs were coming out before the album came out, and I heard the one with Sting, Tom Petty, and I was just like, I don't know." But listening to the album for a while now, this to me is like a Prince album. I see it in the same way people saw it. Like, yeah, when Prince, Purple Rain, Sign of the Times, 1999 controversy, blah, blah. And then, well, no, but check out the Gold Experience. And you'd be like, this isn't the Prince that I remember. I'm talking about just your general casual sort of fans. And I think most people, when you think, oh, Dre and Snoop about to drop an album, you're thinking of Doggy Style, Chronic, Chronic 2001, like, those are fucking landmark albums. And you hear this is not G Funk. And in the same way, I think of Prince, this is not Minneapolis funk, that classic type of sound. He's on something else, man. This musician, this is 20, 30 years later, like, yeah, he's a superstar producer and a rapper, and they've done it, and they've had multiple albums since the heyday that we're thinking of, where their sound has developed. But the more I actually started listening to this is a great album. First of all, sonically spectacular. This is probably one of the best sounding albums you're going to hear in quite a long time. Um, the thing that really made this album start to click with me, I know on Apple Music, they not only have the regular album version, but they have the instrumental version of the album. And so I started listening
Okay.
to the beats, the songs like that, and my jaw dropped. I was like, yo, this shit is nasty. And it sounds so great. And it is dope. I was like, yo, what the fuck is Dre doing? And I almost somewhat prefer to hear it that way, as is that good. And I will say that I am also a big fan of Chronic 2021. They released the instrumental version of that back then when the album first came out. And that's actually how I've only listened to the album is the instrumental. To me, it is that good. I don't know the lyrics on most of those songs except for the big hits. I just know them as the instrumentals. And this is the same way. The music on this is fantastic. But now I have started to go back and listen to it with the lyrics, I mean, with the vocals. And I can see what Dre was doing. He has elevated his sound. He's also brought in a lot of other producers to help him on these records. You can read the credits of these songs. One of the songs I love, I think it's called Gorgeous. And that one, The Dream is on that one. You're doing production on that as well. And I looked at a lot of these songs and I started saying, oh, he's got this person on. So Dre was able to get whoever the fuck he wanted, I guess, who's not going to want to be on the Dre thing. And so
So
he's
he did his
obviously,
Quincy Jones.
yeah, he's literally on his quench. And so it's fantastic, man. And of course, Snoop and so I really love it. I'm really starting to love that album. It's a slow burner. And I like that. I miss albums where I didn't really get it at first, and you start listening to it. That's what Prince albums used to be for me sometimes. And I was like, oh shit, I'm really starting to like this song. God damn. So salute to Dre, man. What a great stuff. It makes me want to go back and listen to the Compton album, which I only heard it clicking on it real quick, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So I never listened to it, but I'm curious. I'm like, was that album actually really good as well? So I'm gonna go back and listen to that. The other album, new album I'm really liking right now, Ice Cube, Man Down. Some great stuff on this. I've been away from Ice Cube albums for many a years. So this feels good to come back. I'm like, God, this is good. Like, I just, there's some great songs on here, songs that I cannot stop playing right now. The same thing I wanted to say about Snoop Dogg too, and I brought up the Prince comparison. Snoop has so many albums. Like he puts out probably 1 or 2 albums a year, minimum. And so when you go look at his discography, you're like, what? And I think that's the way some people would probably look at Prince, who never really followed him past, the heyday of maybe A Sign of the Times or something. After that, they just kind of not really about him anymore. But you knew he was doing something, but you didn't ever go. And I knew Snoop was always putting stuff out because I would see it sometimes, but I never really would go back and listen to it. Oh, he just put out a reggae album, or he put out a Christian. I hear the press stories every year. He's always doing something, but I never paid attention to them. And then when I look now, I'm like, yo, this nigga got like 20 plus albums. So I started kind of jumping back into some of them. And I went back to the Blue Carpet treatment. Fucking dope. Actually, I would think if anyone who is disappointed with Missionary, go back and listen to the Blue Carpet treatment. That's probably what you want. That's the sound you're probably thinking that you wanted to hear. He's already has done that 3 or 4 times. We just never was paying no attention. At least I was dope ass shit on there. Some of these songs you're like, oh, I remember kind of hearing. There's the one with Dr. Dre, D'Angelo, and Snoop. Ah, man, that shit is crazy.
My favorite song from that is "Crazy" with Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
I think it was Fred Wreck on that production.
Yep. Yeah, those songs I have on my playlist. But yeah, that's yeah. So yeah, I was go check out some of it. Another new album just came out.
I'm sorry, hold on. I'm looking at the album. I gotta go listen to this. He did a song with Brother Lynch Hung.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, you know him? Oh,
I know who that is.
Yeah, that brother is out there.
Crazy. Yeah, I was gonna say he's got some dope shit, man. Another one who's just as dope, Daz Dillinger. He just dropped his new album, The Adventures of Dilly the Dog. Again, just like Daz, you go look his name on your streaming service, you will see he's got a gang of albums. He's dropping 1 or 2 albums a year as well. The thing about Daz is, which I've probably in the last 6 years, I started getting back. Like I discovered he had a discography, and I would start going through his albums. He is like a Prince to me as well. One, a lot of those songs, legendary Death Row songs that Daz either had a hand in those songs or he outright produced those songs. A lot of those Tupac songs that that's Daz. A lot of them Dre songs, that's Daz. And I say, and it's one thing to say, oh, I used to ghost produce, and you will, okay, how come your shit don't sound like? Well, if you actually go listen to these records, it do sound like that. He has that sound that you think of Dr. Dre and G-Funk. That's the Daz sound. Like he's still doing that sound till this day. So imagine what he must sound like. His production is, let's do not all. I mean, he'll have some great songs on the album and some bullshit, but he is obviously a super gifted producer, musician, because his shit be jamming. The only thing about that, he still raps exactly how he rapped back then. So he be talking the most gangster. And he's a grown ass man. But the quality is there. It sounds like, again, the Death Row that you think you remember, that's his shit. So if you want that, go pick through these albums, I guarantee you will probably create at least 2 albums of the most dopest death row sounding style songs that you were like, how come I never heard this? And he's still doing that. And it got Snoop on them, Corrupt, all of them be on there. And he puts his own shit out. And that's probably he's not mainstream, so he releases his own shit. And so he owns all his own shit. So that's
It's
why we
crazy.
don't hear about this stuff. But he puts out albums every year. He does collab albums with other artists. He did one with Little Easy E. And
I was just saying that.
some of them albums got some of my favorite songs that have become my favorite songs in the last 2 or 3 years. So salute to Dad. So his new album, go check it out. I would say go check out the album that came out last year as well.
I'm on Apple Music. I counted
Yeah.
32 albums by Daz.
Yeah, he's a beast, man.
And it's funny you mentioned he did an album with Little Easy E, considering knowing the history of Death Row and Ruthless.
Right. I think that was some things I can think of at the moment. But the other thing is I've just rediscovered older music. There's so much stuff out there that I have missed that I'm starting to get into. Even this late in the game, it's still new music to me. I'm really starting to really get into Barry White, and I've never really deep listened to that before. I've just kind of heard it in pop culture, but now I'm like realist. I'm like, yo, this is that dude. I love Prince. These niggas is on something else. That's why, and you'll hear these songs and you'll be like, oh, I've heard this in this song, or I've heard this piece, and it'd be like one song, and you could probably find there were 5 other songs in rap and R&B that are built off of these little riffs that be in these songs. It's fascinating. You're just like, God, the musicianship was on a whole other level, and it was so funky as hell, it was soulful as hell. Cinematic, all these strings and stuff. So I've been getting into some Barry White shit. What else, man? You know what I'm starting to get into now, and I'm late, is some Sting, man. Like I was listening to the the Snoop album, right? And I got to the last song, and the last song went off, and it just starts to play something you think would go next with this or whatever. And it started playing this song, and I'm sitting down. I was like, yo, this shit is. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, is this on the Dre thing? And I looked, and it was an old Sting song. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Because all I know is everybody, which is dope. But yo, I was blown away. I will tell you what this song was. And I'm like, yo, I got to start listening to this. Englishman in New York. I know for some of y'all, I'm like, you never heard that, Mike? Nah, I never heard. That shit badass.
All I know is Every Breath You Take and Roxanne.
Okay, and maybe synchronicity a little bit from the video on TV, but yeah, other than that, I haven't paying. Now I know. I was like, okay, I see why he is that dude, because that little song right there, I was like, oh, I have to hear more of this. This is stop playing. So yeah, I'm just kind of discovering shit that I never was paying attention to back in the day, and really starting to vibe out. And like Isaac Hayes, like I knew some of the mainstream stuff, but the stuff I never listened to, man, that shit is deep, man. And I hate to say it, but that'd be some real music. At least there'd be some real musicality stuff going on. It's not just the same shit looping over and over. It's like you can hear them jamming a little bit, and they'll get tight into this, and then they'll go into a whole different, oh shit. And then they break it down. I'm not used to hearing that as much from the newer shit. So it's interesting when you start to hear the richness, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, the richness of our artistry and our soul and shit. It'll hit you way different than just the same old beep, 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 beep. And it's not a diss to that, but I'm just saying, like, you'll be like, oh shit. And then it makes me think, like, this is what was hidden back in the day. Like, so we had to be on a different mindset to even sit down and be patient enough to listen to shit like this. And because the songs be longer and it's like a whole movie unto itself. And I can only imagine, like, God, that's what they was doing. Like, and maybe they was all just smoked out or whatever they was doing. But I was like, man, these are like movies or something. 10-minute songs. And then when you start listening to like some Bootsy and all the Parliament, you're like, yeah, these ain't songs you just put on and be like, they be on for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you're going, this is like, you have to get your life right through the course of these, because it'd be a whole 10-minute thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just loving it. I'm getting into music like that again, man.
And same, because again, I'm not shitting on today's music. It's just not for me. It's just not.
Yeah, I'm not
So
shitting on it either.
yeah,
Because there's some
you know,
great stuff today, man. I discovered that there's new funk artists aplenty. I just didn't know that genre existed because they don't have big hits. But when you listen to it, it's like these are kids who grew up in a hip hop world, but they are into funk music. So what would that music sound like? And it sounds like I can hear the Dr. Dre sort of influence in terms of the timing of it, but it's obvious they're doing Zap, and it's particularly a lot of West Coast stuff, but they're doing like Zap and Bootsy. Uh, some of them are just doing just the music, but it's all new stuff, and then some of them are actually singing it too, and it's just interesting. Um,
yeah. I once had a conversation with Q, and I said that the reason that the arts are taken out of school, I playfully said this, is because the dominant white society did not want a repeat of Motown. And I'm starting to believe that. And the reason why I say that is because there's generations upon generations of people coming up, getting into the music industry that don't know how to play instruments, that don't know how to read music, that, how did, and it's not their fault. It's that, where do they learn? Where do they go to learn that? If you're growing up in the inner city, you're from a poor background, it's hard to find a cheap or even free place to learn how to play the piano, the drums, the guitar, the bass, to learn all of that stuff. And sadly, it's being reflected in the music that we're getting now because people aren't making new musical composition. It's going to samples.
well, I would say actually, I think I don't think it's that people are not making music, because there's a difference between people making music and there's a difference between music that is sold. Uh, the songs that you were probably talking about, they definitely are making them. Those albums are coming out every week. Those are not pop songs.
I guess, yeah,
nor,
I guess I should have addended
nor,
that.
nor are the people who make them probably look like they would be on the top of the charts.
True.
So that music purely exists. It probably exists more today than ever because, again, no one can tell you can't put it out. So they're putting it out in droves, right? It's coming out every week. Obviously, that's why if you ever go look on any of these streaming services, you go on there every Friday, there's a ton of new releases every week. You're like, who keeps up with it? But it's just the fact that because there is so much, and because that music isn't easily digestible, and the people who make it do not look like they got they don't look good. Yeah, you're not going to hear about it unless you are deeply into that genre of music. But it exists. Uh, Again, if you go to live shows, which they are doing live shows damn near every night across America, those are musicians playing those songs and touring. So it's people that know how to play music. But again, like anything else, you can know how to play music and write songs, but that don't mean you know how to write hit songs, right? You don't know how to write songs that will sell. You just know how to play very well. Those are two different skill sets. People like Michael Jackson and Prince make that shit seem like they are synonymous to each other, but they are not. Like, you can be the best session musician in the world, but that don't mean anybody want to watch you play that shit or what you're playing is appealing to anybody. But you may know every damn note and can hit every note perfectly in timing. That don't mean you know how to make a song that's going to be and clever, and what I mean. That's a different
It's,
skill unto itself.
it's
So
kind of
I
like they
think
say that It's kind of like they say that the best singers are in your local churches.
Right. They may not be marketable to what
Right.
they deem as marketable today.
Right.
So music exists. Yeah. That's why I said, that's why I discovered there are new funk artists. I had no clue. And they're bad as hell. They're dope. But I see why they're not. Yeah. Why would they be on the top of the charts? Nobody want to listen to this shit.
Mm.
Not like they say they do. And again, if you are relying on the algorithm or these services to show you the new stuff, you probably will never hear it because why? Like Drake is saying, right? They're not gonna push some shit they ain't got no. They don't
That's
got a
the
chance
interest.
and doing. They can so Spotify's and them, they allow anyone to put their music on there, right? Because they're gonna get paid even if you only get 500 streams. When I need that, whatever that little percentage that's coming from you, I'm gonna get that. I don't care if it's mainstream or not. The game is open to everybody. So they eat more than ever. It's just that because of that, they're having interest for you to consume the thing that everybody's consuming because they know that's what's working. So yeah, I'm gonna push this in front of you. I'm not gonna show you this. You know,
I'm sorry. You was talking about new funk people. I just put funk in the search bar for Apple, and I'm like, I don't know about that. The artists that came up were Babyface, Snoop Dogg, somebody named MC. What was his name? MC Kevin O'Chris, a white guy, and Eddie
yeah.
Fisher, whose picture looks like it's from the 50s. And I'm like,
What does it sound like?
okay, let's find out. Well, his songs are "Merry Christmas," "Christmas with Eddie Fisher,"
That's
his
not a
types,
song.
yeah. "Wish You Were Here," "White Christmas," "Thinking of You,"
Wish
"You're
I
All
was.
I Want for Christmas," "Here Comes Santa
And
Claus."
what did I say? If you're relying on the algorithm to show you, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know the great funk legend Eddie Fisher.
Yeah, man. But
Wow.
so music. But yeah, so I think there's a lot of great music out there. There's been a lot of great albums that have came out because we had LL Cool J dropped one with Q-Tip producing. We had the Common and Pete Rock. There's been a lot of stuff. I'm just naming some of the older legends. But Kendrick, you said Kendrick came out. There's a lot of people that came out. Was the Beyonce was this year, right? Did she ever
Yeah, Cowboy Carter, I
Cowboy
think.
thing? Yeah, there's been all kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Gorilla, and some of these I've never even listened to them, but I mean I just see the names. I know in terms of in terms of shows, it seems like they're going stronger than ever. I know my daughter; she's went to for her first concert by herself. She had a ball. People I ain't never heard of, but she was sold out. So what do I know?
Yeah. I just learned about Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo. I'm like,
I never heard.
oh, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, pop music is always going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I say. I think music itself is always going to be strong to some degree. There'll be the outliers, like a Not Like Us and different things. But even the ones that aren't on the main top bubbling that you see on the charts, there's so many underneath that. Like I said, very vibrant music industry touring for non big groups. They're selling places out all over the country. So obviously going well. What's next?
Lastly, and I'm sorry, I'm going to wrap this up. Baby girl is hungry. Television. Now,
Okay.
for me, I just want to start. How do you consume television? As like right now, I have a television subscription service, YouTube TV, which I'm going to drop because they want to raise it from $72 to $82. So I'm like,
Man,
yeah,
I signed up with that when it first started. I swear it was like $30 or something like that.
yep. I mean, that's what everybody said when they got that notice. It's it's crazy how that works. And my thing is like I only watch television for the live sports and some of the sports channels, but for the most part, I'm thinking like, Okay, I think I'm about to get rid of cable because when I go to my streaming, I go, it's Netflix, Hulu, Apple
Mm.
TV, Disney Plus, Peacock. Then I might go to YouTube TV just so I can watch Partner Interruption and live television. And then my thinking is like I know there's got to be a way for me to watch these sports without it. So looks it
Interesting.
looks like yeah, see what's happening with me. But for me, my top 10, and it's actually top 9 because I didn't think these other shows worth mentioning were top 10able. Yes, I made that a word. The Penguin, of course. Wow. That's how you feel
What?
about the Penguin?
Oh no, no,
That's funny.
no. Actually, I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen maybe 4 episodes. I mean, excellent. It's
Oh,
good.
you have to get to this
Yeah.
all, especially the final episode.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon, I'm sorry. Abbott Elementary, salute to that sister. It's amazing. You haven't watched Abbott Elementary?
No, yeah, I haven't watched a lot. I don't watch a lot of TV
Okay.
programs. I haven't seen that. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
I
I
think
don't
you
even
should
know where
watch it. I think you should watch it. You can get it on Hulu and Disney Plus.
See,
I think
I don't have neither one of those.
what? Jeez.
I don't watch.
Yeah. So for me, Quinta Brunson, salute to her. She made her name. She did a skit where she was with some guy who was buying everything at a movie theater. She was like, "Oh, he got money. He got money." And to see her now getting Golden Globes and Emmys, salute to her, to the sister. Um, Baby Reindeer. This was a Netflix limited series. Really good. Apparently, this guy, he was kind to this heavy set. It takes place in England somewhere. This heavy set woman at a pub. He was a bartender. He's a bartender at a pub. He was nice to this woman, gave her a free beer, and she would come in and just laugh. And she developed this crush on him and started stalking him and just started messing with his whole life. It got deeper. He had to call the police. Just watch it. It's just really disturbing and like, what the fuck? Here's the kicker, based on a real story. The guy, the guy who starred and wrote it, apparently this happened to him, and the woman that that is based on, she came out and said, "That's me, and I'm suing him because that's not how it went down."
Wow.
This is one of those Drake. You should have just took the L. And
I think I've heard of this. Kind of saw a headline or something about this.
Number 5, Fallout, based on the video game series.
Oh, see,
Really
I only
loved
watched
it.
the first episode. I totally forgot about
Oh, you got it. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Okay.
Number 6, Fight Night on Peacock. That's with that's it's supposedly based on actual events. There was a fight, a Muhammad Ali fight that took place in Atlanta, and all these black gangsters came there for the fight, and they had a party, and some local gangsters was like, "Oh, really?" So they found
What's
out where
this?
the party was and robbed them.
What's this called?
Fight Night. Fight
Is
Night.
this what?
It starred
Uh,
Kevin Hart, Samuel
oh,
Jackson,
that's what this is.
yeah,
I've seen this. I didn't know what that's what it was about.
and Don Cheadle. You got to watch it.
Is it good?
It's really very, yes,
I don't have
very.
a Peacock though. But okay. So that's the
Um,
problem nowadays. All these shows are split up on all these, and I'm not subscribing to all of them no more. Fuck
but
that.
shoot, Black Friday, you could have got it Peacock for $2.99 for a month, for a year.
Yeah, but that's how they get you. You forget that you had it. What the
Yeah,
fuck is this charge? God damn it!
that's how they
Yeah,
got
and
me.
I
I
don't
ain't
even
gonna
watch.
lie. Number 7, X-Men 97. I loved it.
Okay, yep, that was this year. That was
Yep.
great.
Yeah, number 8, The Boys. It's always
See,
those are-
I haven't. I
You ever
got
watch
it.
a new season?
Man, I haven't even finished the first season.
Get the
I know it's good. I don't know, man. It's just like it's hard for me to sit. I'm gonna sit here and watch this shit like
Well, you got more than
over
enough
and over and over.
episodes. You got more than enough episodes to go through. Then they did a spinoff called Gen V.
I
That
seen the
one,
first episode of that. See, I see the
what
first episode
watch,
already.
yeah, watch that one. That one got deep
Saw
and
the-
heavy. And then number 9, you probably gonna flip out on this one as well, but the Continental on Peacock.
I've never
It's
seen
the
that.
it's
Good.
the prequel to John Wick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it good?
Unfortunately, they have Mel Gibson in there, but it was really good. It was really
That's
good.
by whatchamacallit, what's his name? The director?
I
The
can't
Menace
think.
to Society. Huge.
Oh, huge. Yeah. Some other shows that I thought was worth mentioning. I just started it, just 3 episodes in. It's called Get Millie Black. It's a story that takes place in Jamaica, and it's just kind of wild. My daughter got me into it, and I'm feeling it. It's really heavy. First of all, they got white Jamaicans. That tripped me out as well. Right there. He was just like, he said, if you go to any, the woman said in the narrative, if you go to any family in Jamaica, you go far enough back, you'll find a white person. I was like, what? I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, I can
I was like, and seeing this, and I don't know if he's putting on a patois accent or he is authentically Jamaican, but seeing this white man doing this Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son that was doing all the Jamaican stuff,
yeah.
it's just wild. And they have all this story. And then, of course, as you would say, they have the agenda as they really get into the homophobia and transphobia in Jamaica. As her sister was actually born a man, and so there's there. But the story of this murder and everything,
Wow,
and all the yeah. Then there's this Apple show on shrinking. It's about this guy whose wife was killed in a drunk shrinking, as in shrink, like a therapist, psychiatrist shrink.
Oh, okay.
His wife was killed by a drunk driver, and he's been slowly putting himself back together. It's a comedy that kind of has some heavy notes in it, but it's really enjoyable. Shogun, of course. I'm only on episode 3 because I don't like reading.
I watched the first episode of this as well. I forgot about this.
Bro, we gonna call you first episode Mike. God damn.
It's just so much stuff, man. It's hard to.
Terminator Zero. I think we all like that one.
That was good. I watched that.
Yeah. Batman Cape Crusader. I really like those episodes.
Which? I didn't like that. I started to watch that. I don't know. Something about it didn't work for me. Wow. Not saying it's bad. It just. I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Supercell on Netflix. It's a black cast show in London where they start getting these powers. Yeah,
I've seen the first episode.
Yeah,
I didn't get a t-shirt. I seen the first episode.
And the Acolyte, I liked it. I don't know if you did. The Star Wars.
I saw the first 2 episodes. Let's talk about that. Yeah. I didn't dislike it. It's just that, I watched it at first. I was kind of like the first episode. Oh yeah, okay, this is kind of cool, and I thought it was decent, but it was just not enough that I would want to go back and watch it. Just like a lot of these shows we mentioned, and certainly not enough that I was like, I'm not even watching Disney Plus. I'm not paying for this, and I'm cool. And I'm a hardcore Star Wars head, but it just doesn't appeal to me. And then the new one, they have a new one out, Skeleton Crew. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I don't have Disney Plus, but I seen the trailer, and I saw the trailer. I was like, wow, this is a different take on Star Wars. Very much like a Spielberg kind of 80s movie tone to it. And I'm interested, but I'm not interested enough to actually give it my time to watch unless somebody told me it was spectacular. And it's not that I don't think they're good shows. It's just not. I've seen it all before, and to me, I'm just watching. Like, I already know what it's gonna do, and it's just not good enough that I would want to give it my time. That's the only thing. It just seemed I would be bored with it. But I'm happy that there are people that like that because I think Star Wars needs to continue. But I feel I'm like the point where it's okay if I don't watch it.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes of the Skeleton Crew, what I liked about it was it felt like it brought a wonder back to Star Wars that kids could come in, because yes, it did have some tween age or teenage cast members, but it just felt like they were like our what do they say that where there are eyes and ears into this world, and they're being this sense of wonderment of what's going on, going into space and finding all these things. And it's just like, okay, I see what they're doing here. They're bringing that type of kid element back to you with this story.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it reminds me of the Ewoks. That was when I was kind of younger, they had the kids Star Wars. There was the Ewoks movies, and I
Oh,
had
I
like,
hope not.
well, you don't remember those?
I not very fondly though.
I like one of them. I liked. I remember I taped it on VHS, and I would watch it over and over. There was no other Star Wars to watch, but that's what it reminds me. I was like, yeah, there's something for the kids. Like they probably will like this. So I don't have no problem with it. Yeah, it's not for me. I don't need to watch it. You same with the Acolyte. I don't bash it. It's just not didn't look appealing to me. It's not enough to keep my interest. But I know people that swear by it, so I'm like, salute, man. I watch Empire Strikes Back. I'm happy. That's good for me.
Right.
I got no problem with that. Can I watch Empire? Okay, cool. Watch the Acolyte.
So going into the new year, it's like again,
let's go back to TV real quick. Because there was a couple of things I watched. I watched X-Men '97. I like that. I don't know if there was any other series. I don't think I watched any series all the way through. Now, as I think about it, probably the only thing I watched that I finished this year was Space Battleship Yamato. I think 2209, whatever the second season. I finished that, and I thought that was pretty good. It has taken me years to watch it, but I finally watched it. And there's the third one. They're slowly trickling now on Crunchyroll, so I started watching those. I feel like there was something else I started watching, but I can't remember what it was. So never mind. But yeah, TV. Going back to your TV thing, I don't have live TV. I haven't had that 10 plus years. I have Netflix again. I watch YouTube. That's mainly what I watch is YouTube. And then I'll watch my local news. They have a live. Well, I don't watch it live, but they have their own app, so I just watch the news stories that way. Clips. But yeah, I don't think I watch anything live unless it's on YouTube. But yeah, mainly that's all I watch. I watch my Country Wayne. That's my only little TV thing that I watch. To be honest with you, that I can tell you about.
Side note. 2 weeks ago, I took Mia to this event down the street, and I ran into G Wayne from YouTube.
Sounds so familiar. I know the name.
He be with Big John and all of them.
Okay,
he has the yeah. I ran into. I was like, first of all, bruh is short. When he's standing on top of his wallet and his money, sure he's pretty tall.
I thought you said you ran into old girl. What's old girl?
I wish.
Or, so the other one, the dark skinned girl.
Oh, Sade. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I just had to ask him. I was like, okay, come on, play the plan. How are you getting all these fine chicks in heels? Every time I turn around, you gotta. He's like, oh, you like that? You like that? Like, yeah, that's why I keep clicking on your videos.
Kind of coming off puffy-ish. How did you get all that? It's acting, brother.
He was like, bruh, I kid you not, they DM me and want to be in our videos.
No, okay, I can do that.
I was like, okay.
So, hopefully, he's a good, upstanding brother. Where he
he was with his family people.
See, here's now when you say player to player, see a real play would be a red flag for you to say that and ask that question, because one, he don't know you, and you could be recording his ass trying to set him up on some lawsuit type shit. Tell me, I know you getting these hoes, nigga. How you getting? Oh yeah, I'm fucking you're talking crazy, and then
I didn't go on that level at all.
Here you come back DMing him, yo, I got you on tape, nigga, saying you was touching them girls. I'll drop a dime on you online. Fuck you, I need to get that bag, playboy. So that's what I would have red flagged you and been like, nah, that's cool, man. You just they send the applications in. All right, like, I don't know who are you trying to get me to say some crazy shit on some Diddy?
Now, keep it 100. Didn't go across any lines and say like you smashed none of that. I was just
the implication could be like
Yeah, I was giving
I don't know.
salute like
I don't know this nigga. Whose man is this? Asking me.
I was like Sade, E,
See, you know,
Canegra,
man,
Monet. I'm
yeah.
like,
See, you sound like a lawyer, private investigator. Or some shit.
I just watch all their stuff.
Uh-huh.
What to say? But yeah, but that was cool running, being somewhat connected. Yeah. Good brother.
Yeah. Those
And,
guys haven't replaced TV for me, to be quite honest with you. I don't watch sitcoms because when I do want that, I can just watch like a Big Jaw thing. I don't see his as much, but like I said, the Country Wayne stuff, and Country Wayne is essentially 3 or 4 TV shows unto themselves in that thing. Like there's all these concurrent stories and different acting groups. So to me, that's like, yeah, the whole, and some of y'all are gonna, the Amber, Shayla, Anthony thing is just ridiculous. They done dragged us for a year or more. It feels like with this thing now, they need to just expose it all. But I'm still invested watching this crazy shit. But there you go.
I'm sorry, I forgot one film because bring it up, talk to them. I mentioned that we was talking about, hey, I'm happy seeing you doing what you're doing. Hollywood, you finding your lane outside of Hollywood, YouTube, getting your money. That's all great, and I love the content. And I was like, yeah, I was just on Tubi, and I saw this movie, and he was like, oh yeah, my man did that. Yeah, we did. He did that for like 75,000. I'm telling you, go on Tubi. It's this movie called The Hit List. Hilarious. Now, it ain't the best acting, but the story is great. So this dude is about to propose to his girlfriend, and his boy, one of his mans, hating. I'm calling him hating. He's like, man, what are you gonna marry? He said, how many women have you been with? So he goes through his list of all the women he been with. And for some reason, he's going to airdrop it to the dude. Well, while they doing that, somebody else is like, yeah, I need you to take out these people. And so and it's a hitman. The hitman gets this dude's smash list and proceeds to start killing all of the people.
That's crazy.
Go watch it. I was like, because I saw it was TikTok. When I saw it, I was like, that's the hell of a fucking premise. Like, yeah. And highly, highly recommend. Again, lower your expectations. You're not about to get a Adam Sandler, I don't know, Eddie Murphy, full on great production. But
you're
the
gonna get a hood
story,
movie. It's a hood movie.
Yeah, you're gonna get. It's a good story and it's funny and hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, Cats. It's so funny. It was a family member that came here a couple months ago, and her husband. Yeah, they're married, and he had a movie on Tubi. And he's not, it's like I was like, what? He's like, yeah, our next door neighbor, she stars in it with him. And it was just funny. I was like, wow, I guess, and I didn't say it in a bad way. I was like, wow, people can just get your money up and make a movie. And Cats that's the new thing now. I was like, that's dope, man. Like, and I looked it up, and sure enough, it was on there.
Okay. And Quiet as Kept, they have some entertaining stuff. Again, for free.
Yeah.
Don't complain. Don't complain.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've actually watched. I don't remember which one it was, but it was some hood movie. Of course, it was the stripper, big booty on the thing. I was like, what is this? It's damn near soft core. It takes place in a strip club. But I was like, yeah, these are those hood movies I used to go buy at Tower Records. I always wondered where it happened with that. Now it's flourishing. It's on Tubi. Now they can just go direct to the customer. They don't have to go through the distributor thing.
Exactly.
It's a streaming thing. Yeah.
And the thing is, the way the technology is getting, pretty soon, they are going to be putting people going to be taking 75,000 and putting out a quote unquote Hollywood quality film with the sound and the lighting and the video quality. So yeah,
absolutely.
And salute to them for having a dream, having your story, and said, forget waiting on Hollywood to greenlight this. Let me put this out there.
Right.
Here's my proof of concept. And like I said, I'm sorry, The Hit List absolutely should be a Hollywood film because that's a hell of a funny ass scenario story.
Right on, man. I might check it out. Last question, and we'll get out of here. Coming up on this TikTok ban, you think that's going to actually happen?
I don't know. I really don't know because now Trump. Oh my God, we ain't talked about him, and that's cool. He's reversing. He's reversing course on if he'll sign it or not.
Mm,
The thing is, you see what the trick bag is I, these American social media companies are threatened by this Chinese owned company, and
right.
it's a disruptor, and some people would say that it's a detriment to our society because of how they're doing things and what they're aiming towards us versus what's being shown in their country. And I say it's business,
I heard that they don't
we're
even
not
have.
sending our stuff over there.
I saw it online. I don't know if it's true. They don't have the American apps over there.
No,
It's all
no,
Asian shit. So they
nope.
be on COVID. They on COVID.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not in China. They
Yeah,
got something
like
called
us.
Weibo. I don't even.
I heard
I
it.
don't think they have WhatsApp. They have something called Weibo, and I forget something else. And then there's a TikTok. There's a version of TikTok in China, but it's not TikTok, and it's heavily curated.
It's something. What do they use? It's the app they use. They're buying stuff too. Because I watch a
Not
lot of these videos where they just walking around.
Timu.
No,
I
I
think
mean it's a purchase app. Like when you go somewhere to pay for something, they're all using the same. It's something we've heard of. It's an app. It's not PayPal, but it's something like that. But they use it for everything. Like a guy was getting into
nah.
the train, and he was, oh yeah, and he was at the stores. Like they all this digital currency, but I swear it's not just a payment app. It's a part of one of their social media. I mean, it's so integrated in their stuff. But my point was to say, yeah, they don't have our shit over there though.
No. Mm.
I
Like
guess we should probably be doing the
you
same thing.
it's like you ain't fucking up our society over here.
Well, even it just we want all the money. Like they're not. You're not even
True.
coming over there breaking bread unless they're gonna eat it first. So I guess we're trying to do the same thing.
Right. I get it. I mean, if I'm Facebook, if I'm with Snapchat, I'm like, yeah, why are we letting this in there? It's a business, it's competition and whatnot. But I really don't know. I don't see them selling it. Because if I'm ByteDance, why the hell would I sell this $1 billion
Right.
IP, this $1 billion product, because America is mad? I wouldn't do that. And then on top of
Well,
that,
that's
if
that's
you
what I'm saying. So you get taxed. If you don't want to get taxed right, then you can't sell on the block.
so
You're not gonna come in nobody else's neighborhood and set up
right.
shop. Streets is gonna have something to say about it. To say the same way the
you know,
government.
and I get Meta. I mean, to X. First of all, X probably might have been profitable 1 year. Twitter, it might have been profitable 1 year. Meta, I get it because people TikTok is just fucking phenomenal. As far as what that their algorithm and what they use to serve you. Like I kid you, and then the thing is the way that some of these videos, you swear I'll be looking at a video, I'm like, damn. And that's why we're selling. I'm like, motherfucker. That's
Mm,
how good they are as far as feeding you prepaid ad or sponsored ads that you don't even know is a fucking ad. This is
right.
one guy I follow, Ray William Johnson. He does these videos where with using this thing called, I think it's called Legend AI, that creates these images, and it really engages with you. And then like a couple of times, because he's using it, he's like, yeah, I'm sponsored by them. I'm like, there you go, get your money. And again, the way that they go about seamlessly integrating an ad into content where you don't even, by the time you figure out it's an ad, they already got you hooked.
Which can be just a scary thing, actually, if you think about it.
True. But the thing
You
is
see
that
how pervasive that is, right?
so many people have gotten clout off of it, have gotten,
Sure.
huge
But why you think
platforms.
they're not doing it for the clout? I mean, in terms of why they allow that and created that, is to sell stuff to
Right.
people sort of unwittingly to them and to sort of break the barrier to spend more money. That's what I'm saying. You can see how pervasive that is. Like, yeah, you as the middleman who was the gateway to your followers are gonna get chump change for it. Though I mean you will see it as it's big money, but eventually they won't need you. right? Because you've already done the work for them, and you can see how influencing it is right then. But they're going through you to get it. But once they move you out the way, and they're just directly to them customers, I think that's when you're going to see the effects, the long term effects of this versus sort of the short term sort of way that it's being carried out, right? Because they have no other way of getting your attention unless they do this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're
And
building off of the fact that that's a viral sort of clip, right? Which is going to happen regardless. But how do they get you to give up your money by that viral clip? And that's what this, to me, is what this is. They figured out a way to do that. And then you're doing the market research for them. They're giving you chump change to do it. But like any other market research, there'll be a point where that won't be a viable thing anymore, right? You've already given them the answer. So now they know how to get direct to those people. So the money that these people are making through TikTok is a short-term hustle that probably won't be around in a couple of years because they'll move you out the way. This will be the same. It's the same thing with Drake and them sort of fighting over. But I think we just don't see it that because we're getting the chance to get a touch of it. But I'm just saying you're not going to get a touch of it for long. There's no way they would allow you to be more powerful than them to get to the customer. So they're just using you to get there, but they're eventually going to move you out of the way. And it won't be about regular people making money anymore. It'll be that you'll look back and say, remember those 5 or 6 years when people were influencers and people was getting paid? Like, why they don't have that anymore, right? Because now those companies are direct to the customers, so there are no more influencers, you know. So that's what I can see the other side of it, and if you tie in the AI aspect to it, you know, they'll create their own influencers
you
who you
know,
won't even be able to tell they're real people or not, and they're learning how to do that actually by the influencers of today.
that's true.
They got
And
the AI trained on the influencers. So what are they doing? How do they do it? How are they being successful? They know the data that what worked, what you did, and what didn't. And then they'll have the AI trained versions. They'll already know all that now, right? And so they're going to be way more influential than these influencers of today. But they own all those AI things, and you'll never be able to have a space on those platforms because they are dominated at that point. And they'll do, like I said, what they're doing with Drake. They're gonna sway to push them more than it is to push your shit, right? And you won't be making no money, and people won't be watching your shit no more because those AI versions are way more influential than you, and they pump out more content than you ever could because they never stop. You know what I'm saying? They'll make content they'll have content backed up for the next 5 years, nigga. And they did it in 30 seconds. And they're the ones that dominate the charts. They'll be the academic, all of that. That'll be the one. I'm telling you, man. And we'll look back and be like, man, remember when we was fighting for this shit? Like, yeah, well, we fought for it, dude. And that's what we got. But that's just my opinion.
yeah, I mean, and the thing is that they seamlessly integrated a marketplace into that app, so they're getting all of that money. And you know, for the most part, there's these social networks now are trying to play catch up. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't,
I,
I see Trump getting the kickback and
oh, of course.
stopping
All,
TikTok from being so.
all, well, yeah, I mean, I could see any politician or person at that level. I'm sure they're knocking down the doors of these people trying to cash out. Come on, did the bill legislation? Come on, man, we'll bankroll this. Whoop, whoop. I'm sure if they were smart, if they're doing good business like the American businesses do, they would be doing that. I think their only problem is they're not American. So there's a little more hoops that they got to do to get. So any American politician doing any communication with somebody that's foreign nationalist like that from China, that's gonna be a red flag for you. So I'm sure there's so many different ways they're trying to mask. How do they get the money to this person to communicate with it? Don't seem like there's some treason type of thing. Which I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened with your boy from the Fuji's.
Talk about
Praz.
Pras.
That's what Hay was kind of accusing him of doing. Some China dude trying to get money to people in America, and they was going through Praz to do it. and Pras the one got caught, so he the one gonna take the fall. I think this other dude is already he's out of the country. They can't touch him. But this cat's getting involved in some shit they don't really got no business fucking around with, man. But I was gonna say
Yeah.
real quick, I think, man, I was on the prediction level. I think the AI friend or whatever they're gonna call it, that's gonna be the end play for what's going on. It's gonna be tied on your phone. The Siri of the next 5 years is gonna be talking to you, talking back to you. You hold a conversation with it. It sees everything you allow your phone to see. It's hearing everything you doing, and it know you, and you're gonna feel comfortable talking to it. How you got Chat GPT right now, right? If you pay for the subscription, and I have this, you can pull it up on your phone. And, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on, Mike? What's going on today? Ah, man, nothing much. And you can have a conversation with it, right? And it's listening. And you can say, hey, here's such and such standing next to me. And they can tell that other person's voice versus your voice. If they start talking, I mean, they doing that now. So imagine when they really perfect that, when people feel comfortable. You see, they got kids now talking to these things and they're killing themselves, right? Like the AI thing made me do it. He talked me into it. So you can imagine when they get it to the point where they just roll it out and it's free to everybody. And there's gonna be people that's gonna be talking to their phone like that, where they're gonna have whatever's going through their life, they're gonna discuss it with the AI. Well, you know what you probably should do, and they're gonna trust it to the point where that's their best friend, and they're gonna have a relationship with it, and it's gonna go on for years. And they'll be like, man, I first got my AI thing 5 years ago. That's my best buddy. It knows everything about me. I can't lose this phone. This is and now they made it so you can transfer it to your console, or it's on your Bluetooth, so it can just hear me and it's talking. I mean, it's not far fetched. They already got this. It's just not mainstream. But the psychological effects of having something like that is the thing we don't see coming 10 years from now or 20 years from now. The same way, if you went back 20 or 30 years ago, we didn't have this like this. And we didn't understand how this was going to transform everything, right? Like everything we do is on this.
True.
Everything you do is on. No one saw that. No one thought it would be like that. And I don't think we're not even thinking of the psychological ramifications of somebody saying my best friend lives in this thing. We've already got that we've accepted that we can't walk out the door without this. If you think about how fast that has happened, you can't walk out the door without this, right? If you, oh, that's my phone. Like, God damn it, I'm driving all the way back and get that. Fuck are you talking about? I need my phone, right? So imagine when you talking to it and it's your friend, and you don't remember half the shit because you think it's remembering it for you. Remember, I said I was gonna get. Oh yeah, Michael, you said, oh thanks. Or it's like it's raining outside, Mike. Or it'll know again, these things know your heart rate, right? They know your temperature. You didn't allow the health apps and all that. We already didn't have that on there. It's already built into the phone. So imagine when, yeah, you talk, it know everything about you. It know your bank account, know how much money you got in there. It knows all the shit you think it knows your dark secrets. It know who you talking to. Is reading all your texts. They already keylog and everything you typed already anyway for the last 5 years, right? They already got they probably that camera on this phone has probably always been showing somebody back in somewhere. They can probably see all that shit. So you don't think the AI's just been learning everything about you watching it? They just don't want to unleash that shit to let you know it's doing that. But when they do, as they're starting to do, it's going to be interesting to see the effects of that, and how it's going to affect not only the older people, but how it's going to have a generation of kids that's their best friend. Their first best friend is going to be on this. And it's the best friend that's always with them, that they can trust, unlike the kids at school or something else. So it's going to be very interesting to see a group of people grow up with that, man.
Okay, I guess that's when I'm gonna have to become a real parent. Put the kibosh on that. Like, no. We're going to get you
Sadly,
to.
sadly, you'll have already been indoctrinated into it before the child is.
Yeah.
You know, sadly.
Well,
Hey,
I'm gonna have to get back to daddy duties.
for sure.
Appreciate this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, woo, we didn't have 3 hours of these grown ass men rapping, yapping, doomsday saying, and whatnot. And I hope you have enjoyed this. Put your top 10 lists of things from 2024. We didn't even talk about the foolishness of Diddy, Trump, yeah, like the Cat Williams. There's been all this other foolishness that Jay-Z, all that type of stuff, you know, the usual type of shit. It's always some black boogeyman somewhere. So that ain't nothing new. But with that said, work it like a job. We'll see you next year. Peace.
Indeed.